know the story way better than you.
Adam is so wrong on the Crowder. He has no idea what he's talking about, and he's just running with the narrative that got posted. I don't think he watched the video even, and because he didn't watch the video, because the fact that he says Steven Crowder was like, "I still love you," that's literally the opposite of what he said in the video. He said, "I don't love you."
Steven, you're scaring me. I'm scared right now. The paying job only comes when you get the piece of paper, and the piece of paper is what determines the type of job you're gonna get. So if you get a piece of paper that's not gonna make you very qualified to do many jobs, you're not gonna get a fucking job.
Then don't go to school for basket weaving.
Well, people do that, and that's the problem, is people say
Oh no. Oh no.
Anything you would like to say before you do?
I got nothing to say.
Oh man.
See, that's my point. All right, brother. Of course, bro. Joey, let's make sure he gets out safely.
Sorry.
Oh, this lady, if she's who I'm thinking of, I don't think I'm blowing anybody up here. I thought it was really cool. She emailed me an apology. I thought it was really cute. And I was like, oh, I appreciate it. Thanks. If you ever want to do anything, let me know. Apparently she lives here in Miami or whatever. Regarding, she was the one that made videos about me in her car on TikTok, and then I think we brought her on for like a debate, basically a conversation.
We had to hold Melina and MLD from getting into fisticuffs earlier, but now they're doing well on camera.
She knows I beat women, so.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Honestly, I think I'd rather see them mud wrestle.
Oh, shit.
Mud wrestle, so maybe we do a 2-on-2 match.
Right? Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Jesus, Melina.
Yeah, let's go.
That's so embarrassing for Destiny, to be honest. She publicly mocks him, always Limfeo. Why would you think it's publicly mocking me for my wife to be strong? You guys always project the biggest insecurities of your life, and it's why the women you look for, you're trying to find the mental equivalent of a 4-year-old. Like, my wife is super strong, and I think that's really awesome. Why would I ever be threatened by that? Like, when I go out to the world to compete, this is the difference between me and you. When I step out into the world to compete, I'm competing against myself, and I'm competing against the other people in my field to be successful. It sounds like you're such a loser. You can't compete against anybody in your wife, so you can't compete against any of your life. So you're just looking for a wife that you're better than in every aspect. Like that's what it feels like sometimes when I listen to you guys talk. Like, oh, I couldn't have a wife that's better than me in anything. Why? Why not? Like, why wouldn't you want somebody that you're in a relationship with that could drive you, or you can aspire to something? Like, why do you feel like you have to be your dad? It's just weird. And you're a pedophile, and you're a loser, and you're a retard. Boom! The biggest cope I've ever heard. Wow. What? There's like, you understand that when you walk around in life that way, you understand that you're literally destroying your ability to see a single other perspective. I see like 5 people on YouTube chat are like, cope. Do you think I've been coping for 5 years of my life? Do you think I've been coping for 13 years of my life? Like, what is the, like, what possible thing could anybody ever say to convince you that there might be like a different way of living your life? Like, I'm happy, I'm successful, I'm wealthy, I live in a cool area, I've got a bunch of cool friends, I get to hang out with a bunch of cool women, like I have an awesome wife, I get to play video games all the time, Diamond 1, true elo in League if my teammates weren't holding me back all the time. Like, at what point in my life, I'm just curious, like, is it between the threesomes I have with my wife, the world, the countries I fly to around the world, like the streams that I do, like at what point in my life am I coping and crying? Like, I'm curious, what part of my day do you think that I sketch out to, like, this is where he cries about how horrible his life is? Like, it's such a bizarro thing. Like, you're sitting here like pounding away at your keyboard. You probably smell like BO because your mom stopped buying you deodorant because you won't go out and get a job after you got fired from Wendy's because you got caught eating the cheeseburgers because you're such a fat you couldn't wait till lunchtime to eat some, right? You're pounding away at your keyboard like, this guy's coping his life. And then you turn on your like RedPill streamers to talk about how you're gonna find like the perfect virgin at age 21 when you're 35 after having done nothing your entire life. Like, mate, somebody's coping here and it's not me, all right?
The level of femininity of women in America is probably the lowest in the world, in my opinion. Like, and I don't know if definitely it's a part of the culture, but like, I just don't want to deal with like combative, aggressive, like in your face women all the time.
Strong personality.
I just don't, it's not a strong personality thing, certainly not. Because if you have a strong personality, you don't need to be like in someone's face. You know deeply who you are when you're a strong person. You don't need to show up and like do tricks. But it's just like, there's an overall more masculine energy in women in America than pretty much any other country I've been to in the world. And in Asia, and other countries too, you know, South America, whatnot, India, right? The women there are just far more feminine. I don't know if it's the food, if it's the culture. I don't know how you cultivate femininity, but our cultivation levels in the States is very low.
Now, men here are so feminine, and so it gives us no choice but to be in that masculine energy because it's like they want to wear the tiara all of a sudden. And it's like me, I like to be submissive to my man. I believe in the hierarchy of the home. I like my man to be at the peak. I want to serve you. I want to love you. And I love that. But the way that the men are now, they're so in their princess energy that it doesn't let us be the feminine person. On my date, I went over to go hang out with a friend, and we were there, and then he's like, oh, I'm hungry. It's 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, well, we're in your house. Like, make something to eat. Like, he's looking at me. He's looking at my phone. Like, I'm not going to Postmate you something to eat. I'm not hungry. You can Postmate yourself something to eat. Oh, let's go to a food truck. Okay. We go to the food truck, and I don't even want to eat anything. And he orders his food. I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't want to eat anything. The lady takes out the little kiosk, and the man walks backwards away and leaves me there at the little kiosk to pay. And I'm just there like, bro, what is this?
I wish, I don't know what to say. I don't know if there's anything I can ever say. Why, what does this have to do with feminine or masculine? Like, it sounds like the person is just shitty. Like, if a woman did that to me, like if I was at a restaurant with a woman, I generally always pay, because I've got money, I'll pay. But, fuck, I can't say anything. I'll just say this, okay? If I'm going out to eat with somebody, I'm almost always gonna pay. But if somebody says they'll go out to eat with me, but only if I pay, I don't go out with that person. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense or not. Like when the expectation is there, nah, f you, homie. I can find a woman with money, okay? And then when I do, I'll pay for her because I'm a polite person. But but if I was at a restaurant with a woman and like the check came and she's just like, oh, I'll be right back, and she like slurks off into the bathroom, this isn't like masculine or feminine or anything. This is just like a shitty person. Like, it's just a shitty person.
Maybe that's where the masculine feminine thing comes into play. It's like, if you know that a woman is making money, then it's like, well, then I'm gonna let her pay. Mind you, I've been in relationships with people that were multimillionaires, and I would always be like, well, no, let's go 50-50, or like, I got you this time, or like, I'll pay my flight tickets. Like, don't worry about that. Like, I never wanted to be like, oh, poor me. But I feel like at the same time, these men, they see me and they know I have an OnlyFans, so they're like, I'm gonna let her pay.
Yeah, so why wouldn't you pay if you make money? I feel like if you didn't make money, it would make more sense,
She's just
right?
being contrarian.
Okay, I'll answer
just
Melina.
She's just being contrarian. It's a legitimate question. Why not just answer it? Why wouldn't you pay? Just have an answer. Like say, oh, I don't feel like paying because I'm a woman, or I don't feel like paying because I feel like he's trying to me, so he should be, right? Give an answer.
I think it's just the energy.
There's nothing that's a bigger turnoff for women than seeing, like, than you having to reach into your pocket. Like, as soon as I feel like you're in your little celibate area, you were probably trying to get some action. As soon as you had to go reach into your purse to grab your credit card, I feel like your hoo-ha just dried up.
Yeah, I think I was just more in shock because it's...
These are the shittiest women to be with. Why would you want to be with a woman like that? Or I understand why some guys want to. Sorry, I don't know. I have to be careful because my taste in women or my takes or whatever are going to be wildly off the norm. Like, again, I'll offer to pay, and I basically always have, I think, in almost all areas of my life. But if it's like an expectation, like if you're not going to hang out with me if I don't pay, you pay your own shit. I got a ton of other people that would gladly pay to have meals with me. Why the am I gonna sit here and front money for your ass? Like, no offense. Like, hold on. Now I'm feeling more mean because we're talking. What is this, like single mom? She says she has OnlyFans, like all this stuff. Like, if you're trying to hit like this ultra traditional man that's offering to pay for everything, and you tell me you around with millionaires before, and now you're like, oh, I would never pay. Like, come on, bro. What are we talking about here? What like?
It's like,
I'm about to get ultra red pilled.
I get it. If I would have wanted to eat as well, and I would have been like, let's go eat, let's go to the food truck. I don't want to Postmates. You're offering me things to eat, and I'm still saying no. If we get to the food truck and I order food as well, of course, I don't see how it would be so bad that I maybe pay for it. But this man, it was his idea. He wanted the food. He wanted the food truck. We get there, and why does he leave me at the kiosk to pay for his food?
So what happened after?
Wait, so did she? Okay, but now also, did she not even order food? Big baller guy. But okay, but then also again, and I'll go back to this. This doesn't sound like a masculine or feminine trait at all. Like, if I'm at my house and a woman's like begging me to go get food and I'm not hungry, and you're like, please, I'm like, oh, okay, we'll go. And then we show up and I don't get anything, and she's like, I need you to pay for this. Bro, I don't give a if you're masculine, feminine, a horse. That's some rude ass shit. That has nothing to do with gender. You're just an asshole. You're just rude.
Did the celibate era end?
No, I got locked out of it.
She slept with him. Yeah, we got tacos on my place.
No, I did not sleep with him. I ended up locked out of his house with my magic wand.
He did the girl
and
thing.
He fell asleep.
He did the girl thing when girls just goes out to guys because they want a free dinner.
Pretty much,
yeah.
I guess.
That's pretty much what he did.
But-
He just did the reverse role.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, he makes money too. I have never done that in my life. I have never expected a man to pay anything for me. I think that I don't even remember like any time that I'd be like, oh, okay, like you got her, like the waitress comes and she's like, oh, time to take the payment. I've never been like, oh no, time to check my phone. Like, I'm not gonna make the payment. Like, I just kind of let it kind of naturally happen. And from what I've experienced, the men usually go and they do it, but I always offer. Maybe that's my downfall
You're too
too.
giving.
Yeah, I'm just like, I got it.
Let's go back to MLD's comment just so we can get
Sorry
everyone's
about
opinion.
that.
I mean, like, I agree with her. I don't, her, the way she presents herself makes you wonder. But like, yeah, if somebody's taking you out to order food and they get food and you get nothing and they disappear when the check comes, obviously that's shitty behavior. But like, this isn't like a guy in his feminine energy. It's not a guy not acting masculine. This is just a person being a piece of shit. I don't know. I don't understand how this is gendered, because if a woman did this, I think most people get triggered.
Do you think that women are more masculine in America today and men are more feminine? Is this something that you've come across?
I would honestly say I agree.
You would?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
point
mean,
to MLD.
but I don't think it's in like a horrible way. Like I don't think men being more feminine and women being more masculine is a bad thing. Because like I train hard in the gym. Some people could claim that's masculine. I'm wearing sneakers. Some people could say that's masculine.
No,
you know, so definitely there's like crosses over.
I'm talking attitude, persona, character.
Yeah, attitude, persona, character. What do you mean? The types of clothes you wear can reflect that? Going to the gym can reflect that? I mean, she gave you some decent masculine points of her own personality here. Are we just trying to like hardcore like wrap around and agree with her, even though she kind of just...
How you hold yourself.
Easily confused with like a strong woman being like a strong woman versus being like, oh, she's acting masculine because she's strong.
Gotcha.
So I think it could get like mixed.
Angela, I know that you talked about this topic.
I DM'd him. I love DMing. It's my favorite thing in the whole entire world. I guess that's kind of masculine energy.
You hit him up first.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Oh, Nailene. You slid in his DM?
Yeah.
How tall was he?
Feminine. He's tall.
Yeah, I knew it.
Yeah, and then look at this. Like, what's wrong with that? Right? Where then these red pill space are actually like regressing, like evolutionarily. Like, don't we want women like making the first move more often? Like, isn't this like a good thing? Isn't this something we should all kind of be pushing for? Like, what's wrong with women finally fucking manning the up and making some moves in dating? Like, why would we actually push against this?
I know, but look, that's I guess the masculine energy that we're talking about. It's like women have to go and like take their shot because it's like these men won't. I don't know how many times like I've been DMing someone for a while and then they like never ask me for my number, or they're like, here's my Snapchat. I'm like, bro, am I like 20 years old? Absolutely not. I'm gonna snap you. Like, here's my number.
Is that because you're intimidating? You've got millions of Instagram, millions of TikTok. I feel like that could be intimidating for a guy. Like, I don't think I have a chance with this girl. Then you slide in the DM.
But that's a guy being more feminine.
Exactly.
That's
right.
Word to the wise out there. Melina, let's see those guns again real quick. We should have, my Jesus. Honestly speaking,
Yeah.
who's stronger, you or Destiny?
I think we're about the same, but for me as a woman, I'm probably stronger.
Okay.
Right.
And you said that you protect him.
She's really strong
so
for
this
a
whole
woman.
We
conversation.
protect each other. That's what we do.
That's
of course,
fine.
We're fighting
He protects-
together.
I have no doubt
My lifts are all much larger than hers, okay?
He can protect you intellectually all day, every day.
Ooh, what
and on
does
video
that
games.
mean?
And he's very smart.
Yeah, so
And
I'm not.
opinionated
Is that
and
me?
loud
Are you telling me that I'm
and talkative.
stupid?
Is what?
You're calling me stupid?
yes.
No, I'm just saying you're stronger than him. He's smarter than you.
You think so?
I listen.
I wouldn't say so.
All right. Well, let's mud wrestle for the. But this conversation about women being more masculine, men being more feminine. How do you process this as a relationship? That you're in?
I think that all women here are probably really happy that we're living in the time that we are, because if we were living 100 years back, we would probably not be sitting here. So I'm thinking just because we've gotten a lot more chances to be masculine, taking more space, having a job, like having jobs that gets us a lot of money, I think it's perfectly fine for some men in that case to be a little bit more feminine, or they're just going to be on the same level as women. So I don't really see the idea of guys should keep paying even though the woman might be making more money or equally as much. I don't really see that at all. And I think it's a lot better that we're also on the same level because it doesn't create this like power dynamics, right? Like if you go to another country that's more poor, or they would get like the first ticket to the US to get a citizenship if they wanted to, of course they're gonna come with you and act submissive. So that's like kind of how I see it. When there's men that goes to other places because the women are too much and they're too independent and they make way too much money, of course they're gonna go and try to find someone else if they feel insecure about themselves that they can't handle a woman that's a little bit more dominant, like in life.
So I hear what you're saying, but then if you apply the laws of hypergamy, which is basically the act of dating up, and it's been
Hypergamy is bullshit. Fuck, and I can't. Melina's not gonna be able to push me on this.
Not the
economically
same.
proved forever.
People date each other in it's each other's
what will
spaces.
happen
Oh,
is
shit,
that
that is
all the
true.
women who are making more money will only go in search of the men who are making the most money. And we've seen the stats out there. I'm sure we can pull it up. The top 10% of dudes are getting all the play out there, all of it, me and MLD included. Then the middle half of guys, they're lucky if they get something. And then the bottom third of
I don't
guys
think that's true.
are getting nothing.
I think people use.
No, I'm using stats right now. So are you?
There are
I
no
think we
stats.
can look up stats like where people date each other and stuff. So people people usually date people at work or like in school or stuff like that. It's not necessarily like if we're in Miami, it's gonna be a bit different because of course it's gonna be women from all over the world that flies to Miami to find these rich guys. But it's not gonna be necessarily that case if you go to like Sweden, like where I grew up, right? It's probably not gonna be the same thing because people date each other at workplaces or school. That's usually how
But
it
in
goes.
Sweden, everyone makes the same amount of money for the most part. In America,
No! What are you talking about? Well, in socialist countries, like in Scandinavia, everybody makes the same amount of money. That is not true. Guys, in Europe, everybody does not make the same amount of money. That is not true, okay? Careful.
I mean, there's
because
some
of free,
people- I'm,
free
like, from
market
a richer-
capitalism,
I'm from a
there's a
richer
wide
area.
range of financial stability here. So yeah, if they date someone at work, oftentimes it's the
don't-
secretary banging the CEO.
Okay, so would you
she ain't
go,
banging the janitor.
Would you go to like, say you go to
That is not true. Those are not normal relationships, are the secretary banging the CEO. That is not necessarily the normal relationship. Like,
Nebraska and you go to some random Starbucks at a mall, would you look for girls there?
Yes.
Yeah,
You
sure.
would?
Look for
I would.
girls
That's what you
anywhere.
do?
these guys, yeah, they would, because it's a new money thing.
Really?
I mean, I don't go to
believe that.
Nebraska, but if I
think you
do,
go
if I go to a
Miami clubs, try to
Starbucks.
find girls. That's what I think you do. I don't think you like try to like go to like find some random girl that's. I don't think that's the case, and I don't think that most girls that work at Starbucks in some random state goes to like Dubai to like find men. It's not like we fly them out.
No,
or
if she's
anything.
hot enough, she will be
I
flown
don't-
out.
Yeah, if they're hot
They will
enough,
find
yes.
you.
But
No
what's the
doubt, they
percentage
will
of that?
find
It's
you.
not all women that's looking for someone that's like super rich or like Leonardo DiCaprio. That's not
I have to agree
reality.
with her.
I agree with her too.
It's
I
not
don't care about
reality.
it.
I'm from Tampa. Before moving
Yeah.
here, this scene, this media stuff, like hearing women getting flown out like to Dubai and all that, like that wasn't a thing in
Yes.
Tampa. There's like a small nightlife group of girls that did that, but for the majority of the time, like I've never heard of that. That was rare.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but let me give you a counter argument. The girls in Tampa might not be getting flown out to Dubai,
Okay.
but I guarantee you they're getting flown out to Miami.
In Tampa, maybe, but like getting flown out, bro, that's like a 35-minute flight, okay? What do we? That's a way different world than getting flown to Dubai. Also, I don't even know if you're in Tampa and you like go to school over there or whatever. Like, how are you even meeting these people in Miami that are flying you out?
I guarantee you they're getting a
Every
trip to
single girl?
Orlando.
Every
So
single
it's
girl.
just about leveling up for these girls.
Every single girl, you think they've gone to Miami to sleep with people? Like every single girl in the States or in the world? No. That's
just
rare.
they're
People
flocking
date-
to where the fun and the money
reality
is.
is that people date within their area. That's what they do.
Traditionally, yes. But now since the advent of the internet and dating apps and TikTok out here,
hold on, so what
you
percentage?
can holler at any girl you want in the
I'm
world.
curious, what percentage of women do you think gets flown out to Dubai or Miami to sleep with?
The hottest, most elite,
no, what
most
percentage
slutty
of
women.
women? What percentage of women in the U.S. do you think?
Maybe 10%. Maybe
10%.
Maybe.
You think 10%
10%?
gets flown out? 10%?
I'm not saying
Of the-
Dubai.
That's an insanely high number. 10% of women are flown around the United States. These numbers are huge. 10% is a huge amount of women. Like,
saying they
population?
get plucked from whatever little town they're in, and they go to the next biggest town. Dude, you have no idea. I'm using Miami as an example.
Yeah.
I meet so many girls. It's like, I go to school in Tallahassee, and a guy brought me down to Tallahassee. That's in Florida.
that's not normal. That is incredibly abnormal that people in Tallahassee are getting flown out to other parts of the country.
plucked out of their little college town. Boom! I partied with 10 girls this weekend.
10 girls.
That were,
But
that were down here.
Miami's like the
In
worst
Miami.
example. Like Miami's the worst example.
Yeah, but this is where we're located. The problem that I have is, yes, we want all those things, a feminine woman who's loyal and there for you and smart and charming and care. We all want all that. But I think more than anything, I would say anybody wants someone that you can just communicate with, be on the same page with, laugh, joke,
Trust.
have fun. Trust is obviously huge. The problem that I have in Miami is like I'm at the beach 2 days ago, all right? And I'm sitting there, I'm just chilling, I'm just getting some sun, relaxing. There's this super cute girl, kind of like Tessa, just hanging out right there. It wasn't you. And I'm just sitting there on the beach and I'm thinking, all right, she's drawing some art, you know, word to the wise. You don't ever be like, hey, you're hot, what's up? I'm like, oh, like, what are you drawing over there? And I'm thinking like, because obviously every guy knows, like you're thinking before you say something. And she's like, oh, I'm working on some art over here and he's like doing a painting. I'm like, yeah, I'm out. I can't, at this phase of my life, like I need someone who banter, English, can communicate. Like I'm not trying to learn a foreign language to fall in love. So that's a big deal for me. Like, you know, these girls are all from different parts of the world, but they all speak English great. You all qualify, congratulations. But one thing that I've realized in Miami, this is like, people are like, what's wrong with Miami? It's like, you can see the sexiest, awesome, like most amazing woman, at least on the surface. And you're like, hey, what's up? She's like, I'm from Italia, what do you want from? I'm like, yeah, man, you can't do it. So, I mean, are you having that problem?
I had this one of these fucking valet drivers. Like they were talking to me in Spanish and giving me an attitude. I'm like, this is your job. Like park my car. They're like, why don't you speak Spanish? I was like, why don't you speak English?
Does he speak Japanese? I'm so curious.
I'm just saying I want someone with banter. I think banter, can we all agree here for
the
1
best.
second?
I agree
That
with you,
banter in a
actually.
relationship, is there anything better than that?
You need it.
Because let's just take off the gloves, take off, like after you've had sex with your significant other umpteen million times, it becomes more than just sex. We all get that the honeymoon phase, you're hot, you're sexy, that's great, but at some point it comes down to communication, interaction, jokes, movies, funny, laugh, giggles. Would you ladies all agree that is probably the most important thing in a relationship?
100%.
Yes.
But I'm curious, and actually I want to ask you something. Like,
Yes.
So what do you think actually about men that goes out to meet women that they can't talk to? Like, what do you think why do you think they go out in the world to find women that can't speak their language? Because there are some people that goes
That they
after that
can't?
specifically. Yeah, they can't understand what they're saying. Like, they can't communicate. So let's say that someone from America goes to some like poorer country where they actually don't speak English well at all and they can barely communicate, and then they want to bring them back home to marry them. What do you think they're usually looking for? Do you think they still feel like some sort of chemistry, or do you think that they're looking for other stuff?
Well, I think as someone that's traveled, I think, and this is gonna sound corny, but like attraction and love and vibe and all that lust, that will transcend any language barrier, no doubt. Like I've been to Medellin, you know, I didn't have to brush up my Spanish to find some girls that were interested, you know, so you can filter through that, right? But
We will
at the
say
end,
that it's very
but there's a
important to
difference
banter and
between short
communication.
term and long term. Short term, I'll deal with a fucking girl with a horrible accent, no problem. But like for a wife, I don't. That's
yeah,
not
but there
what
are
I'm
people that
looking
goes
for.
out to like get wives that can't speak the language, and then they like bring them home.
Wait. It's because Melina started using the verbiage to make it sound like a passport bro. It's so crazy how you could just say something that was so perfect, and then backtrack it 100%. Wait, what? Hold on. Because I agree with what he said before. One of my worst fears when I'm talking to foreign women, if I'm meeting a foreign woman, is that like, I hope you don't have a really thick accent and I hope your English is very sharp. Because I have very sarcastic humor, and I do a lot of like banter jokes, and if you're not super fluent in English, it's not enough to just know the language. You have to like live and breathe the language. We're probably not going to get along very well. You can't really employ high levels of sarcasm with somebody that is like barely fluent, you know? Which I agree, which he agreed with, but now he just like totally 180 that take.
I've been to Medellin, you know, I didn't have to brush up my Spanish to find some girls that were interested, you know, so you can filter through that, right? But
We will
at the
say
end,
that it's very
but there's a
important to
difference
banter
between
and
short term and long term. Short term, I'll deal with a fucking girl with a horrible accent, no problem. But like for a wife, I don't. That's
Yeah,
not
but there
what
are
I'm
people that
looking
goes
for.
out to like get wives that can't speak the language, and then they like bring them home.
Yeah, I don't.
I think
That
that's
to
what
me
you
is
think
For short term, so you're part of hookup culture?
yeah.
Adam.
Yeah.
Adam.
I know this for a fact. Adam is.
Adam.
You know
Part
what
of
for a
hookup-
fact?
Adam, you are so part of hookup culture.
Adam, you're part of the degenerate activities.
Yep.
Did you not see his last Instagram post? Where was he?
But my point is,
Get him, girls. Get him.
you can join it, gangbanging. That's fine.
There's nothing
There's a
wrong
big
with fucking
difference. There's a big difference between guy doing hookup culture and girl doing
No, there's
hookup
not.
culture.
No,
Of course
there's
there
not.
is.
There's a problem with that. So
Huge difference. One takes,
MLD, tell us the difference.
one takes skill, one
Yes.
takes low standards.
Yes.
You know?
That
So-
confused
That's-
me.
But that's the problem.
That's
You
not
guys,
right.
you guys will
Of
do
course
that,
it's
and then
not. No.
pretty much brutalize women and scrutinize them for not being married because you guys are engaging into hookup culture, and then you have to essentially string her on for bullshit activities, don't you think? So like, there's a bunch of girls out there that have been fooled into thinking that maybe you have a chance with them. In reality, you're just hooking up with them. So anyway, so their problem.
That's
their
true.
pro- their
That's true, but it's
problem-
on the women to develop the discernment.
That's the problem. So
Society.
if she's naive and
What a
she's a
fucking
bambi and you take
loser.
control of her, you take advantage of her. But if she's aware, she's a gold digger, she's has.
No, I think you're overcomplicating it.
Am I really?
Let me-
She had the perfect counter, but I don't know how much she's spent. So guys always say we want to avoid women that are older because they have trauma, and then I always counter. It sounds like you just want a woman that's not very experienced. And now he's saying we like to do hookup culture, and she's saying, but when women avoid hookup culture, don't you guys get like upset or like aren't you making fun of those women? He's like, well, it's on a woman to like learn enough to avoid that. Like it's on the woman to figure it out. And it's like, okay, so then you literally are looking for a younger woman that you could just take advantage of. That's literally all you're looking for.
Let me use an analogy.
No, it's simple. My story. I went to the guy's house. If there was a guy going to a girl's house, you guys would be like, yeah. But because I went to the guy's house, someone said booty call.
It's
Like,
called-
how
it's
could they
called-
even be in the same
Melina,
thing?
it's called home field advantage. Let me break this down real quick.
Booty call either way.
Listen, ladies, take note. We've all driven a car before. The man is the gas, the women are the brakes. Okay? If the man is pressing the gas, we all know when a guy goes and takes you out on a date for dinner, movies, drinks, he's getting to know you. He wants to sleep with you. And why does he want to sleep with you?
Well, he wants
Because he
to do the
finds
same
you
thing.
attractive and beautiful and amazing and wants to hang out
We
with
do
you.
the same thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
We do.
We do the exact same thing.
So, but you talk to a guy with 100 body count. What has that guy done with his life? He's made money, he's figured it out, he's got an access, he's got a network, he's got his whole shit together.
No, he's just
you
put
talk
on
to a
a
woman with
willpower
100
to
body
actually go and
count,
sleep with
she's
you, that's what
unloading
he's done.
trauma. Only one person can talk on the mic at once. She's unloading trauma galore. There's a major freaking difference here. And I never judge women on their body count. That's not me. But I'm letting you know that, what do they always say? A man is judged by his future, a woman is judged by her past.
Yes.
And that's those.
What do you mean? What do they always say? Who's they? That's some cringe red pillar shit. That's not like some gospel advice. It's like, oh yes, of course. Like that's there. Who is the they there? What the fuck?
Listen, this is controversial. Men and women are not the same. They're equal in the eyes of the law, but we're not the same. Men can't have children. Men can't have babies. Men can go and impregnate 365 women if they want.
But we're equal
Women
to
can
20.
women can get pregnant by one man one time a year. That's it. Our bodies are different, and just understanding those differences is wrong to
So why do you
highlight
go out
that.
and masturbate so much then?
Why
Go
what?
out- we masturbate so much and we go out to see people. Like it's not like we just sit at home.
Where
for
are you
like
going with
9
this,
months for
Melina?
getting pregnant. It's not like we
Yeah.
have
I don't know,
sex
but I like
once
it.
in like 9 months. We don't do that.
But back
That's
to Angela.
not real. You know that, Adam.
Let's be fair to Angela. She had a point. So what was your question?
I feel like sometimes, I don't know if this feeling's right or not. I feel like Adam sometimes has Melina on because she's like pretty or because she's my wife or whatever, but then she'll make a point and then he just like blazes past it. Like, wait, why not address what she just said there? Like, women do masturbate. Women do hook up with guys. Like, do you think they don't want it all? But I was like, no, let's go to this other person. Like, why would you?
Your point
My
regarding
point to it is,
hookup culture.
I mean, obviously, it takes like 5-10% of guys are in that status to be able to do it, but average guys date average girls. I mean, so to say
Yes,
that
true.
guys can just go around sleeping with multiple women because your biological factor says you should. I mean, you have all this discipline to be a high value guy. What's going on down there with the discipline? I mean, that's
True.
contributing to hookup culture, which to each their own. But you're gonna sit here, not you, but generalizing, saying shun women for the fact that they're naively being innocent to these guys who have to lie. Like if you're such a high value man, why do you have to lie to get in a girl's pants?
Who's lying?
Most of these guys lead, like,
Lying about
no
what,
offense,
though?
but this is a prime example. He wanted a free meal. Just say, hey, I'm a bum. I want some food. Do you want to? We can smash afterwards if you feel like
I
it.
would have cooked for him.
She would have done it. Women are
Listen,
so-
we all lie.
Yeah.
We all lie. It's just different types of lies. Guys lie with their mouth. Women fall in love with their ears. Hey, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take you here. This is what I do for work. I make so much money. There's always embellishment and lies.
gonna buy
Women
something at the
lie
food truck.
with how they look.
Oh, the food truck.
You're 5'4", you're not 5'8". You put those heels on, you're 5'8".
But you can
Your
look
titties
at
were a
that.
B, now they're a D. You lied. Your hair was down to here, now it's down to here. You lied.
If you don't know the woman's wearing makeup, you're a fucking retard. You obviously see like women don't, their eyes aren't naturally have black wings. How is it the same as telling a lie to somebody to sleep with them?
Lied, okay? Your teeth were kind of dirty, now they're white. You got it cleaned
Okay,
up. You lied.
Adam,
Like
which one-
women lie visually,
which one-
and men lie.
No, men lie both
vocally.
ways. Have you ever been hatfished?
Hatfish?
Yes. Listen, the man.
Okay, are you
likes-
asking me if I've ever fallen in love with a bald dude and I just realized?
Yup.
No, that's never happened.
Well, no, not bald. He has
Yeah.
3 little Charlie Brown spreads going on. And it's way worse. You're like, damn, he's hot. He's getting your engine going. And then he has a hat on. You're like, okay. Well, then he takes it off and you're like, oh, he looks like my grandpa. And I'm like, nope, he has like, the side hair, like over
George
here.
Costanza?
Yes. And I'm just like,
He's
can't
got
do
the
it.
horseshoe thing going on.
Yeah, I
but
can't
that's
do
easy
it.
for a guy. Fucking shave your head, grow a beard, get some muscles. Now
No,
you're
some
fucking
men
Jason
cannot
Statham.
have
You're a
bald heads. It
badass.
doesn't work for everybody.
All right, well, I mean, I'm not getting hatfished.
Exactly, all
But
my questions.
ask another question. Have I ever been catfished? Where you meet some girl online, she's a dime piece, and then she's filtering it all up. She's using Facetune. Her
pictures
titties
like-
ain't that
She
big.
said
She ain't that skinny. Her
pictures
skin don't
are-
look that good. Whatever it is, and you show up and you're like, hey, who are you, buddy? She's like, I'm your date. I'm like, no, I came to meet this girl. I'm like,
like, what?
this girl right here. They're like, yeah, I'm him. What? No. So yes, it takes two to tango.
They both lie. That's what we're trying to say.
It's
Men and
difficult to
women
say.
both lie.
Sure.
Yeah.
I said that.
When it comes to hookup culture stops when women stop giving it up so easily.
Giving it up. What do you mean giving it up?
Giving
why
their
I'm
pussy
celibate.
up for sexual intercourse
But we
easily.
like to get. We like
No,
to fuck
you
around.
do.
We
That's what I
do.
said.
No, we
Yes,
do like
but-
more
well,
sex.
I'm gonna
just-
use.
But
I'm
if
gonna
you want
use
hookup culture to
yes.
stop.
She should have hit back way more personally there. Like, no, you like to get it's like, bro, just because the women that you managed to trick into bed with you don't like your doesn't mean that every woman hates dick. That's your experiences you're projecting on everybody else. Like, there are some women that enjoy sex. Maybe try it sometime. Like,
Up giving pussy away easily.
Or men can stop lying. That would be nice too.
No,
That's never gonna stop.
no, it's not.
Men are always gonna try to
So
learn
why
game.
do you
That'll
have-
stop when women stop wearing makeup.
Wait, what's your problem with
No,
people?
Makeup. Thank you. That's another one
I
that
think
I
you
have
can see
to
through
That's
the
a
next
multi-
podcast.
and women will stop wearing makeup when men stop saying they look sick when they don't like this is I hate these like back and forth. Like, bro, all of these things are toxic and everybody plays into it. You can't just blame one side. Men and women both do dumb shit and they both encourage each other to do dumb shit. Like,
$1 billion
Nobody's
big
coming with
string up
makeup.
deal. Sure.
Turn off the lights.
But
Turn
that's
off
the
the
problem.
makeup.
Okay, if you're saying a guy's leading, but he's lying his way. Like, I knew a girl who was like dating a guy for 5 years. He let her on. He didn't see a relationship with her. But like, you let 5 years of her youth that she had left because you just was convenient vagina for him. That's more detrimental than a girl wearing
Yeah,
makeup.
but that's on her.
Yeah, she should have left.
She should have left.
That's
Yeah.
under the fact, okay, she's dumb. If we're gonna penalize her for being dumb, for being naive, for a guy that she fell in love for, I'm sorry, she's wrong for that. But aside from the fact that he knew he didn't take her seriously.
Let's get real here, guys.
Yeah.
It takes two to tango.
Yeah.
Okay, if the guy and a girl are together for 5 years, and he leaves her, whatever. She had 5 years to figure it out.
Wait, that's
I don't
not
feel
it.
bad
You
for
be
her.
honest, but also people don't really know what they want at all
But
times,
was he
especially
not-
when you're
wait,
younger. But come on, it's not
sure.
really on her.
But
Because
women-
if he's promised her something, why wouldn't she trust it? Like, trust was so
Women
so
also need to
important in
prioritize
honesty,
their
right?
youth and their beauty.
Yeah.
Okay, we've seen with Chelsea Handler here, the debate that her and I have going back and forth online. It's like she would have had some validity when she was hot, and 25, and funny. Now she's almost 50 and sad. It's like, I think we know who won that argument,
Well,
Chelsea.
damn,
It's
I
like
guess
you're
the guy was
coping.
so smart to not figure out that people age. Like,
no, wait. I wanna
Yeah,
ask-
so take
Wait.
advantage of it now. Don't be a hoe.
About this situation with
But what
the
is it
5
being a
years.
hoe in a
Hold on.
You have to be a hoe while you're
Yeah.
hot.
About the 5-year-long
To
situation.
land a husband.
Yeah, but no one's looking for a husband or a wife anymore.
And that's the f***ing problem,
exactly.
Amy.
Now it's just hookup culture is going to be our fairy tale ending because men don't want a wife and women can't find a husband. So that's just going to be what it is. So everybody just hook up or be celibate.
I don't think
If we're
that's
being
right.
real,
I think
like,
it's pretty equal to
if a
the
girl
fact.
sleeps with a guy, she sees relationship enough for it to be like, if she can say we're just hooking up, but we all know she wants a serious relationship. And a guy can play into that, but he actually just wants convenient booty. There's a massive difference. We can lie our way through, but we both know the truth. And as far as men saying, I want to lead a relationship, why would you lead the relationship into a lie? Then you're not really leading them.
But what about this 5-year-long relationship? Did she have the official title of girlfriend for 5
course,
years?
yes.
And so where's your...
how's that leading
like-
on?
Yeah.
But if you're in a relationship and you're like, hey, I want to see a future with you, I want to marry you, and she's cooking, she's clean, she's submissive, like everyone says she should be. Where's the ring? Where's
Did
the
she
commitment?
ask for a
That's what
ring?
it is.
She shouldn't have to ask for a ring.
Okay, yes, you have to ask for what you want in life.
No, that's
No.
the woman that I'm with needs to ask me to get married? Where is the masculinity in that? That's one of the most effeminate things I've ever heard in my entire life. What?
Garbage.
Yes,
That's
you have to
garbage.
grow
You
up
have-
and
that's
want...
so embarrassing.
You have to
Do
express
you go to
it.
Japan? Do you have to ask those girls for a blowjob? Do they not give you a blowjob? Period.
I don't talk like
Exactly.
that.
My point.
But it's true.
You drop F-bombs all
You
day
just
long.
do one of these things.
All I'm going to say is that you shouldn't have to ask for that. That's just something a guy knows within the first couple of visits that he wants to marry a girl or not. But a lot of these girls don't know game. They don't know the male nature. They're also not taught that. And you can say it's a woman's fault, but this is America. It's broken homes all day long. Men are leaving, women are leaving. So who's actually teaching women male nature? While men are saying, you're a hoe, you're a thought, you're a hoe, you're a thought. So it's like, what is she supposed to do?
trying
Perfect
to be more
segue.
like men.
Angela, perfect segue.
Okay.
You need, there's so many men's podcasts, what we do here, what MLD does, what Fresh and Fit does, what Andrew Tate does, the list goes on and on. Jay Waller, Sterling, like the list goes on and on. Donovan, Rolo, and we all know these guys. The list goes on and the whole premise of what they're teaching is human nature, how men need to act, how men need to improve. This is what we do.
Yeah.
But you go look at female podcasts, Call Her Daddy, other sorts of baddie podcasts. It's all encouraging women to be hoes and
Call Her
explore
Daddy.
their sexual deviancy.
Yeah.
By the way, ladies, keep listening to those podcasts. All good. But I'm letting you.
What do you think they do on RedPill shows? Is it not like how to hook up with men, how to fuck men? Like, isn't that one of Adam's 3 things? Get laid, get paid, do it your way? Like,
You know that if you want to solve the problem that you're looking to solve, you need to have your own podcast and say, this is how women need to act.
Yeah.
Why do you think Pearl's had so much success? Because she's just highlighting the delusion that women have.
Yeah.
So what we've realized being men do these podcasts, we can talk to her blue in the face and we're going to be called assholes or misogynists or idiots. But until women like you say, ladies, I'm in a happy relationship. I'm married. This is how it works. Follow my lead if you want to have a husband and live your best life. Let's see how many women listen. No,
And
they'd
that
rather
husband's probably
they'd
still
rather
cheating
watch
on
the
her.
Call Her Daddy podcast
Yeah.
and just tot it up online.
If you want, because they wanted equality. Women wanted equality, right? So the onus is on them to get what they want now. You can't sit around like waiting around being pretty, like just hope a man's gonna come marry me. Like if
They
you
do,
want
they do get what they want. They're working, like men are. They're attractive, which they're more attractive more than ever.
Especially here in Miami, it's way more hotter women than there is men. There's no men here.
Yeah, why do you think we're cleaning up over here, my crew? Yeah.
Literally, because you're beautiful. But everyone here, all the men are horrible.
Can I just say something? I feel like it's perfectly fine to feel like you want to be a part of hookup culture or like sleep around when you're younger to try to figure out what you want. I think that's perfectly fine. And then later on want to have something serious. I
actually agree with you.
I think that men
I
and
actually agree
women
with
feel
you.
that way. Yeah, and I think that's perfectly fine. I don't think sleeping around is a bad thing. I really don't think so. Not for men or women.
But at some point, the
You gotta
epiphany
stop
phase
this
needs to end.
Yeah,
and
if you
reality
wanna
needs to
have
set in.
if you want to have a serious relationship, yeah,
How old
of
are you?
course. I'm 24.
You're 24.
Yeah.
God bless you. Love you. You have no idea how many girls, when I was 24, just getting started in the South Beach party scene in my early 20s, are still out there single, living it up.
Well, they can do that if they want,
No,
right?
they cannot
can't do that.
Yeah, they can
What
do
if that's
whatever
what
they
makes them
want.
happy?
But when they cry themselves to sleep, like, why can't I find a good man? It's like, because you passed him 10 years ago.
You act like a
but you
hoe.
still wanted to hoe it up and do a
No,
hookup
it's
culture
because
thing.
they're looking for the plastic because they are plastic. That's why. Because
Oh
people
my
in Miami are that way. It's not like you look for like a
How long
serious
you lived in
relationship
Miami now? You got a whole synopsis of the
1.5
city?
years.
Oh, okay.
These are-
And I've lived
these
all
are
over the
all
planet.
figured out.
I've lived
These
in LA,
rules
I live
apply
here, I live
nationally
in
and
Sweden, I live in New
internationally.
Zealand. I've been
Okay, now my daddy masculine instinct is kicking in. I feel like when a lot of these men, this is more the MLD guy than Adam. I feel like when these kinds of men are on podcasts with all women, all of a sudden they get very masculine, very out there, calling people hoes, like saying all this shit. When I'm on these shows, they all act like submissive women. Why? Like, I wish that they had this energy when I was there. And the problem is, I can't pull it out of them when I'm on these shows because then it makes me look unhinged. But like, when I was with this guy, what did he say on the show? Wasn't he like, I just say that men should do 4 things, like make money, graduate, get a skill. Like, it's like, okay. Like, it's the most inoffensive, like, demure attitude. But then when they go on shows with all these women, where they're like, oh, we can bully the shit out of these women. Where was this energy?
all over the place. I probably live more places than you guys have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's shift gears here for a second. By the way, well, real quick, one thing that, one of the things that because this is where finance meets romance, I talk money and where relationships intersect, I believe in the laws of supply and demand, okay? The greater the supply, the less the demand. The more the demand, the less the supply. Basic economics. You've talked about that scarcity leads to value.
Yeah.
Correct?
Can't you make this comment when you go on these shows? I mean, I kind of do, because they kept trying, when I was arguing with Rolo, they kept doing this thing like, oh, we all agree, oh, we all agree, oh, we all agree. And I think I literally said, I don't think we agree. When I go back to my stream, I'm going to be saying the exact same shit that I said here. I don't think you guys are going to be. I said that exactly. I said that verbatim.
You guys aren't disagreeing with each other. You're just saying volume is the biggest driving factor, which means you have to go out there and talk to them. You're correct.
Sure, we can agree, but I don't believe in the dual mate thing at all.
Okay, you disagree with
I
that.
don't believe in alpha fucks, beta bucks at all.
Okay.
I don't believe that status and class are your major determining factors for fucking. So if you want to say you agree with me, that's fine. But when I go back to my stream, I'm going to have this exact same message. I don't know if you guys, when you were on your other panels,
for women, sleeping around is bad for them. I know you're counter to that, but it's all verifiable in all science.
Dave Chappelle did a skit. He goes, the price of pussy has just plummeted.
Yeah, but it's true for guys as well. You did say that, but it doesn't hit the same as, you should say it explicitly like you just did 2 minutes ago. When I bring people into my house, into my territory, I can go very hard because it's my audience and you're coming into my arena to fight with me. When I'm on away games, enemy turf, I don't know what to say. I have to match their energy. I can't bring a whole bunch of heat to those areas or I'm gonna look unhinged. So if I brought Rolo onto my show, I could start screaming at him. Why aren't you like this? Why are you so submissive now? What about this shit you said? What about this? But when I'm in other tour, I gotta be like, oh, didn't you say this quote? Or okay, like I have to match energy. Otherwise I look unhinged and crazy. That's just, rhetorically, like just the way that I have to function. I can't go off when I'm on like other people's shows because it doesn't make me look good.
If a girl's willing to sleep with me on the first date, second date, I'm not gonna be like, oh, how could you? But if she's like, listen, here's my rules. I don't sleep on the first, second, third, fourth, fifth date, whatever it is. But if you like me, you want to continue to take me out and see me, then we'll do that. And if I have to make that decision to be like, this girl's kind of fucking baddie and she's kind of dope and I'm super attracted to her, you know what? I'm gonna wait my time and figure it out. Most girls don't do that.
Yeah.
Most girls aren't gonna make a guy wait that long.
But Adam and MLD, do you know why these women are just sleeping around? I want you to really think about this.
Well, it's horror culture in the States.
No, it's because there's no men. Look at this girl had to wait 5 years for a man to put a ring on her finger. There's no men nowadays that are, I'm looking for a wife. I want a wife. So you know what these girls are doing? They're not gonna sit around and wait for these men to actually want to put a ring on a girl's finger. They're gonna go fuck around because then what else are they gonna do for the rest of their lives?
I want to add, so I agree with you. Do you know why most men don't want to get married in America?
I'm telling you, because it's a man and woman, it's off balance. Everything is just so messed up right now.
That's right there, what he just said. It's not about women, it's the divorce laws.
If men don't want to get their shit taken, guess what? There's women making more money than men nowadays, so they can get their shit taken.
That's a small percentage.
And they don't want to get married.
How often do you hear that, Aileen? Oh, you hear about Bill? Yeah, he took all his wife's shit, bro.
Yeah, but that's
he got it all.
That's
he got the house, the car, the dogs, the kids, everything.
That's 80-year-old
You never hear that.
That's not 40-year-old and 35-year-old.
But here's a data point. In the 60s, alimony was paid out in 25% of relationships, and I believe like 1.2% of men got alimony. In the 2000s, that number dropped from 25% to 10%. So alimony is getting paid out much less often, and men are getting alimony twice as much as they used to. Now, it's still a small percentage of relationships that are paying out alimony to men. It's like 3% now instead of 1.5% or whatever, but those numbers are changing.
Bill and Marissa, that's old times. Now women are making so much more money than men that they're the ones that are threatened with having half their shit taken.
Yeah,
so
well,
it's completely opposite.
It's still a small percentage of women making money.
That's anecdotal.
So because men don't want to give half their shit away if they get divorced, women have to not have sex.
So
men
two
don't
things are
want to get married.
happening.
That doesn't make
Aileen,
sense.
two things are happening.
Yeah.
Number one, those women who are making all this money, will long-term not date down. This is hypergamy. So if you're making $250,000 a year, $500,000 as a woman, you're not dating Jake the bartender who's making 40 grand. You're not dating Carl the construction worker. It's just not happening.
Yeah, you do.
You're looking, no, you're not. You're looking for the CEO. You're looking for the NBA basketball player. You're looking for the guy that's bringing home the money.
Yeah.
Facts. I don't care what you say.
No, it's not.
You're not settling down
that's not true.
with Carl the carpenter. I'm letting you know that. Number two, because you
I like how he says stats, and I don't like anecdotes, and I'm going to talk about NBA players. Like, are there even enough NBA players to have stats about? Like, wouldn't that literally be anecdote by definition? Like, Jesus.
38 and crying on TikTok.
I really should have. I really should have
But
thought
it's
different
because
about
of
this.
you guys. It's not because of us. You're saying that we can't go and have sex and fuck around, but you guys don't want to put a ring on a girl's
And I'm not
finger.
saying that women need to lower their standards. I'm just stating the fact.
Wait, can I ask,
the fact too that women can date anyone.
why are you guys viewing?
Melina, hold on. Melina, the reason, because you asked why men don't want to get married, the main reason is because the divorce laws in the United States are crazy.
Nobody thinks this way, except for in these hyper niche spaces. Nobody is walking around being like, oh, I love this girl and she's so cool and everything. But the divorce laws. I heard on my favorite RedPill podcast that the divorce laws are so unfavorable versus men. Like, nobody thinks this way. Nobody makes decisions in the real world like this. It's actually fucking insane.
I think that's why. I think they just don't want to get married because they just
hold
fuck
on.
around.
If you want to find a woman that doesn't work and you marry her and you have kids and then she wants a divorce because something might have happened in the relationship, do you not think that it would be fair if she doesn't have a job, that if you leave her, she's gonna feel like I'm like a single mom now, I don't have a job, I haven't like built up my career or anything. Why wouldn't she get half? Isn't that kind of fair?
That's a perfect example of Destiny's
Isn't it-
wife giving a
isn't it
super
literally
niche
fair?
example for a blanket
It's not
statement.
What do you think alimony is, you fucking retard? That's the whole reason alimony exists, you dumb motherfucker, is because a woman usually forgoes her career to fucking raise the kids. That's not niche. That is the actual case fact for alimony. That's the entire argument for alimony.
It would be fair if she doesn't have a job, that if you leave her, she's gonna feel like, fuck, I'm like a single mom now, I don't have a job, I haven't like built up my career or anything. Why wouldn't she get half? Isn't that kind of fair?
That's a perfect example of Destiny's
Isn't it-
wife giving a
isn't it
super
literally
niche
fair?
example for a blanket
It's not
statement.
niche at all. That's kind of why the law is
How
there.
many,
Yes.
how many women don't have jobs now?
How many women that don't have
They
jobs
just
in
said that
America?
what if a woman gets married and
I
she
have
doesn't have a
absolutely no
job?
idea, but it seems like guys like you want to find someone that is submissive, that can't really like
Exactly.
leave.
So
That's
then
like
you're
kind
gonna
of
have to get divorced and give her half your shit because you want her to be home and sit there like this and
I
submit
didn't
to
think that you
you.
would do that until you're like 40 and then you want a divorce. Like, of course you would want to have that half because she hasn't built up her life.
Stop talking fast and over me and just seem like you're smart.
Oh my God! What? Where was this? Can somebody link me the clip where this guy was crawling under the table to deep throat my 8 inches of WBC across it? Oh, Destiny. Oh, fuck. And now that I'm not there, and now Destiny's wife. It's not even Melina. It's Destiny's wife. Now he's like, oh, you're just talking fast into big tech. Blah, 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 blah. Kill me.
I will say this in Destiny's defense, guys, for you guys that are red pill and jumping on Destiny's fucking, back for bullshit. He's his own man. He's made his own money, and he's decided to live his own way of life. If that's not red pill, I don't know what the fuck to say it is, because he's not like a slave to the system. He has his own things, and that you guys have to learn to like be okay with encountering people in life who don't agree with the way you live. And I think
somebody email me some fucking estrogen. I'm gonna be a trans woman. I'm gonna trans out. I am gonna trans out. Then maybe when I show up on these shows, maybe they'll actually give me the same energy, because apparently they can't ever talk man to man. They can only be there beating on fucking women. Like it's literally like the most insane shit to me to see how overconfident these guys will be when it's 5 women in front of them, but when there's another man in the room, they turn into a fucking beta dog. Like, come the fuck on. Oh, it actually triggers me so fucking hard.
I know this is a Destiny tactic. Relax.
Really? I want you to do this in Japanese right now.
Relax. The point I'm trying to make is going to Melina. You asked why men do not want to get married. It's divorce laws. And you said...
That's an excuse.
But it's valid.
It's not.
It's not valid. That's just an excuse.
Guys, you ready? Watch this. Next
Not
story.
valid excuse.
Watch this, guys. Next story.
This is why America would
Breaking
fail.
news. Jeff Bezos, one of the 2 or 3 richest men in the world. He's the founder. What's that little company he owns? Anyone? Anyone?
Amazon.
Oh, Amazon. Yeah, okay. So Jeff Bezos is now engaged to his 5-year-long girlfriend, Lauren Sanchez. Pull up this article real quick. So you talk about not learning from history. This motherfucker better learn real quick. Because his last relationship ended.
Destiny, they simply respect you, but they do not respect Melina. It's not that deep. No. They don't respect me. They're scared of me, which is a type of respect. But respect is, so for instance, I respect Myron, right? Even though I disagree with all the shit that he says, he provides a good platform. He's a relatively smart dude, and he's super fucking driven. I'll shit talk Myron's and crazy ass ideas all day long, but I respect him as another man. But when I have an issue with Myron, okay, I don't come on this stream like, oh yeah, I think RedPill shit is crazy, and then I go into their show and it's like, Myron, actually, I think that when you guys talk about dating stuff, I actually think that you're like, we have minor disagreements, but for the most part, I think we agree on. I don't do that shit because that's weak shit. That's the most boring cuck shit in the fucking world. If you have a problem with somebody, say it to their face. I don't go and glaze these guys and then come right back on my stream later on to be like to talk about how much I hate them. That's so cucked. So no, I don't think it's respect that you're scared of talking to me when I'm there in person. That's just fear. If you had respect, you would say the same shit to me in person that you do when I'm not there on these shows, when you're talking to Destiny's wife, right? And like, that's so, the reality is that like it is fear. That's the problem. The reality is that they don't get pushed on this. That's why they never have stats or numbers for this, despite the fact, that's why in 24 hours, I was able to assemble a doc and dismantle the godfather of the red pill and his entire ideology, like at least 4 of his fucking books are built on. It took me 24 hours to do it. These guys have done these same arguments for months and months and months, for years, and they don't even have a single stat to back up anything they say. How do you do the same shit for years? How do you do the same shit? It's like the same 7 stats. 90% of women who are educated initiate divorce. 80% of all divorces are initiated by women. Men have to pay child support 80% of the time. But like, it's like the same 5 numbers. Why don't you have a single study to back up anything you say? Like one time, like do a little bit of research.
There he is, engaged right there to Lauren Sanchez after 5 years ago. This woman is a predator, I guarantee you.
I thought we weren't doing anecdotes. Adam, why are we looking at Jeff Bezos, the richest man in the world now? What the fuck? What happened to no anecdotes?
Next story, by the way, if you can pull that up.
She looks like a predator.
She looks like a predator. By the way, this is after he was married to his first wife, Mackenzie Scott Bezos. And when they got divorced, anyone want to guess how much money she got? Not $1 billion, not $5 billion, not $10 billion, $38 billion. So when you
has MLD ever said something specific about you that he would need to say to your face? Saying Melina's talking fast is a Destiny debate tactic. I need to bring up, something I did do that I actually am so glad that I did, and I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to begin to do this for every single debate that I have. I'm going to carry with me a list of 6 rules, and I'm going to read this at the start of every single conversation so that when people do this, I can refer back to it every single time. Because one of the rules that I had written out here was, if either side feels like a debate tactic is being employed, it should be called out and addressed, ideally by the moderators, immediately. I'm going to do these 6 rules every single fucking time I have a debate so that this shit can't happen afterwards. Oh, Destiny, she just did debate tactics.
You ask someone like MLD, well, why do men not want to get married these days? When you're talking guys like that, or even if you're a multimillionaire, even if you're a successful guy like me, it's like, dude, I can pluck out, and I mean this respectfully because I would marry out of love, any beautiful, amazing girl that I meet out there. Awesome. Come on my team.
Did you understand how MLD talks with men and how he talks with women is so blatantly, transparently different? Yeah, I see that with a lot of these RedPill guys. And actually, it bothers me. It bothers me in a deep masculine place because then I feel protective. So I'm like, why would you take women? I feel a certain type of way when I watch men that will like verbally eviscerate women on these streams and they never, ever, ever stand with other men. It actually drives me, it hurts me in a deep place. It really drives me crazy because it's like, bro, like you're literally just bringing these women onto these podcasts. I should have gone harder on Brian yesterday, although he's probably stressing out over like big clips and everything. But like for the Whatever podcast is a good example. They bring women on all day to beat the shit out of them. They brought that one fat chick on to beat the shit out of her. I could be wrong. Didn't that one guy, I know he called Farah a hoe when I wasn't there. Didn't they say the same when she was, or when I was there? Didn't they say the same to her when she was there? Like they have all this energy for women, but then for men, they become so conciliatory. They become so submissive. They become so quiet. They become so much less confrontational. And I'm like,
listen to what guys are worried about.
Yeah.
They're worried that they're going to...
not every girl takes half.
True.
Yeah,
True.
even get child
But
support.
80% of the time, women file for divorce. Am I wrong?
78. Yeah.
78.
oh, hey, there's the one of the 6 random numbers that we have with no context, with no further explanation, with no other exploration. Like,
if men didn't have anything to lose, they would be filing for divorce just as much as women. I hate that statistics. I understand that
true.
women are filing for divorces, but if men had nothing to lose, they would be filing for divorces also. Let's be fair about that.
Ooh.
What do you mean nothing?
And Jeff Bezos is getting married again.
That's
so
my
it feels
point.
so bad.
Because here's the thing. Like,
so what do you think? If you're Jeff Bezos, number one, how ironclad is that?
Why are we talking about Jeff Bezos when we said no anecdotes?
Prenup, in your opinion?
I think that shuts you up because you said men don't want to get married because women are taking half. The lady took billions and he's still getting married again. So
Yeah, that's why he's a fucking idiot.
Oh, that's true. Absolutely. And now you're saying he's dumb? Wait, it's Jeff Bezos. What are you talking about, bro?
It's a bad move on his decision.
It's a bad move, but he's a billionaire and he's super smart, so
there's no reason.
To Thailand.
But maybe he wants love over money.
You can still have love without getting $38 billion taken from you. Natalia's in the chat out there. Natalia, please do a poll. Weigh in at any point. Was this a smart move or a dumb move by Jeff Bezos, where he got taken to the cleaners for $38 billion to get married again, engaged again?
He's gonna end up on Skid Row. This.
Listen,
but I think that's the problem. We are regular people looking at this man's pocket. We don't know what this man, like, I think it's fair to say, like, obviously money doesn't mean, like, once you get to that status, you're desensitized. I mean, the guy he's a visionary. He sees things at a distance. He invests things for a really long time. He's obviously willing to take a loss, and he's not there for them. He's there for love.
Believe me, nobody wants to take a $38 billion loss. I believe you were here on the last episode that we did when we talked about the top.
I mean, what's the loss that Elon Musk took on buying Twitter?
10 divorces of all time. It was all men getting taken to the cleaners by their wife for billions. We had to go through dozens and dozens and dozens of names to find two people where women had to pay the men. One was Roseanne Barr when she married Tom Arnold. It's like, because he was the only dude that was going to bang fat Roseanne. And then Madonna, who her ex-husband was a Guy Ritchie, that ended up getting money from her. Yep. But to say that it's on the same level, where women have the same concerns what men are concerned with, would be unfactual at best.
Yeah. Wasn't this crazy? I usually not date down, but I go for like the normal regular guy. Your best friend, your best friend was not a normal regular guy. Never gave me a penny. I paid for my own flights.
Because he knows how to operate.
No, I gave that man a prenup. I gave him a signed, and I'm sitting here, this is your best friend. I gave him a signed paper from an attorney. No, not Jimmy. I gave him a signed paper from an attorney saying that I was with him because I loved him and not because I wanted anything, and that if anything in the future happened between us, whether I got pregnant or whatever, that I was never, ever, ever going to be able to touch his money no matter what.
I believe, and I respect the hell out of that. And by the way, number one, this is the first time I've heard this. I didn't know this. It's not like I'm all up in your mix. Thank you. I know who you're obviously talking about, one of my best friends.
Yeah.
I mean, we won't name names, but he's 6'9". He can dribble a ball pretty good.
Yeah.
He's a multi-millionaire. Yeah, exactly. So the point is this. That guy, if you didn't do that, do you know how many people in his life would have said, before you get married to beautiful Naylene, who happens to be an OnlyFans model, by the way, you got prenup, right, dog? No, bro, I love her. I would never get a prenup. Step into my office, motherfucker, because you're fired. Okay, you're getting a prenup because that is a rightful concern that he should have.
That's why
he's worth tens of millions of dollars.
He was never concerned about it. I did it out of good faith to show him that I'm here because I want you. I don't care about anything else. I want you. So
he wasn't concerned about what though?
He never mentioned a prenup or money or anything like that.
Okay, but even if he didn't mention it, believe me, his inner circle.
Oh, I know the inner
best
circle
friends,
said something.
Accountants, attorneys,
but that's why
would have been like, yeah, you're getting the prenup, homie.
But that's why I said, of course, people are gonna look at me and think that, oh, she's with him because of this and this and that. But I wanted to shut people up and just make sure that he knew. I didn't care about what anyone else thought. But as long as he knew that I was with him because of him and not because of anything that he had, like I wanted to give that to him so he knew.
Okay, number one, I love you for sharing that. But the reality is, you guys ended up breaking up.
Yeah.
Okay, so the point is this: you guys loved each other. You were willing to do a prenup. Lo and behold, shell shock, guys. Most relationships don't work. Why do they call it the one? Right?
Yeah.
Most people date a dozen people in their lifetime. They marry one, meaning there's a 90% chance the relationship's not going to work. So you kind of got to play, to use a basketball analogy, you can go on offense, you find the girl, you hit some shots. We also got to play defense, put some insurance in place, get a prenup. That's all I'm basically saying here.
Yeah,
so for a guy like Jeff Bezos right here, who lost $38 billion
that's where I was going
to get married again.
It's like $38 billion, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll be back 1 second. There's like 30 minutes left of this show. Can I finish watching this?
Yeah.
You can comment and whatever
For sure.
you want.
Let's do it.
Okay. Did I move the comment or the camera?
Can you give me like a 30-second up-to-date thing of what you've watched so far?
It's just like it's every red pill argument ever. It's all the same. Every single one of these shows is the exact same.
Well, that is very a blanket statement.
It's literally
every single red pill thing is the exact same thing.
They just got off the 80% of women initiate divorce, so it's like every single I
mean, it's a point, but that's okay.
Okay, all
Let's
right.
watch.
I'm gonna I'll slow down to 1.0 times. Okay, feel free to.
You're fine. You can play it faster. My brain works a little bit faster too, if you want to do that.
Oh, okay.
Just not as fast as, but like a little,
Gotcha.
in the middle.
All right.
Like, I'm not for it, I'm not against it. I think if you're in it for the right reason, then it shouldn't bother you.
Yeah.
Because it is essentially protection for him, but yeah, I'm not for.
Can you put your headphones are backwards? There you go. Okay, that's important. Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Or against it.
Okay.
I'm like neutral.
What would you say, Guste?
I would say with marriage that you already have basically a prenup depending on your state's marriage laws. So by getting a prenup, you're just kind of customizing that law to yourself. And I feel like talking through that with your partner it guarantees like a kind of sense of safety and making sure that we're all in it for the right intentions. I don't necessarily view it as a bad thing. But then again, not everyone needs a prenup. Like if you're making like $70,000 a year, why would you need a prenup? But
Agreed. But at the same
right
time,
circumstances.
And I totally appreciate that because if you're both starting out from the dirt, from the ground up, like if you look at what's his face, Steven Crowder, okay, but there's also something called a postnup. All right, so you don't need to get a prenup, you can get a postnup. So Steven Crowder, who's basically worth 20-something million dollars, super famous, super successful, YouTuber, Rumble, all the above. He got married. He was a Christian. He was a Bible Belt guy, doing it all the right way. Married his wife. They both took each other's virginities. They did it all the right way. Lo and behold, 10 years later, they're married, they got kids. She says, I'm kind of done with this relationship. He's like, what do you mean? I love you. I still want to be with you. She's like, yeah, I'm ready to move on. So,
didn't he say, I don't love you? I thought he said that. Kind of weird, huh? How he framed that, huh?
He said that in the video, I don't love you?
He did, yeah.
I love you very much. I don't love you. That's the big problem.
Said, I don't love you. Isn't it kind of weird he frames the fact that the wife just got bored and wanted a divorce for no reason? Do you think that's pretty common?
No, that's not what she was saying in the video at all.
Oh, okay. I was just checking. I don't know how red pill you are, so we'll see how much we're going to fight. I got boxing gloves in the other room if you want, okay?
Okay. I was going to bring a blue wig, but I saw it got done this week, so I didn't want to,
Nice. Okay.
be unoriginal.
Do you want to, you can move this down and this up a little if you want to.
Whatever works best. I'm really not that familiar with
Well, because I don't know if you want like the microphone blocking your fucking face.
Yeah, that's probably not ideal. Okay, yeah,
okay.
this is...
There you go.
That works.
Figured out. Okay. All right.
So if he would have there was no reason for him to get a prenup because he didn't have any money. They started together. But at some point, he should have come to her and said, all right, I just made $10 million.
This is a lot of speculation. You do not know the backstory of this.
No, that's
you
the
do
story.
not know this. No.
Okay, so tell me what you know.
I don't know the story, and I don't think that the entire story is out there either.
Okay, it's easy for you to say, well, that's not the whole story.
No, but you're saying
tell me something.
like, oh yeah, from all of a sudden she just wanted to divorce because she wanted money. That's what you're implying.
So tell me the story.
We don't know that if that's the case. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay, I get that we don't know that's the case.
So you probably shouldn't just say things like
Is this right now?
Yes.
Oh,
well,
this
like
is-
30 minutes ago. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. Mel's up there killing it.
Yeah,
That's
she
good.
is. And she's right that we don't know the whole story of the Steven Crowder situation. But for
Mm-hmm.
some reason, Adam feels comfortable saying like, oh, the wife just got lazy and wanted to walk away. Saying that we don't know is not the same as saying you don't know and therefore I know.
Well,
but
neither knows, right?
Yeah.
So it could be a combination of both. I mean, it's not necessarily saying that she got lazy and wanted to walk away, but it's also not necessarily saying that he wasn't an
Sure.
abuser either. Exactly like you said, we need
Yeah.
to wait for more information. There is absolutely no way to determine on either side until that comes out.
yeah,
Either
but
way,
Adam seems to be really comfortable here saying that like, oh, the wife just got lazy and wanted to walk away. Like that's essentially what Adam is saying here.
wait, but so what side is he on? Is he on the...
These guys, so modern men, I'm trying not to explain, you might already know, I don't know, I'm just going to explain like you are from ground zero, okay? But the
Okay.
red pill argument is that all men are scared of getting married because they know women are out to fuck them in divorce. And women are
Right.
these evil
They
snake
want to take their
creatures.
resources, blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah.
exactly. So now they're arguing, well, look at Steven Crowder. Poor Steven Crowder did everything right. He was a virgin. They got in their relationship together early on. And now after 10 years of him working so hard, his wife is just trying to steal
But
all
that's
this
so
money for
funny,
no reason.
because
That's the argument that he's
Well,
making.
obviously they're going to come out with that because the exact opposite narrative of that out right now is literally the polar opposite, that he's
Okay,
abusive.
but what
So
are
of
you doing?
course
Hold
they're-
on. Is this guy fucking Steven Crowder's PR? That's not his job to come up with the exact opposite fucking story.
Honestly, I don't even know who this guy is.
It's
I don't
Adam
even know-
Sosnick. Yeah,
I
it's
don't
not
know
his
who
PR
Adam
firm.
is. I only know Jedediah, like
Jedediah.
Jedediah.
Yes.
Jedediah. Like
Yep.
I said, that's the only one I know, so I'm not aware, I'm not familiar, but
Mm-hmm.
I figured that they weren't going to be very, what's the word, biased.
Sure, but now he's coming out basically saying that like the wife is leaving Steven Crowder for no reason. That's what Adam is saying. But why would you say? No.
Well, that's literally a video to potentially show otherwise.
Yeah, the opposite of what he's saying.
Yeah, it's not-
Yeah,
it's
but
not
I'm just saying that like if you're saying here's an example of a broken marriage that where the wife is leaving, you can't say that. You don't have the information. Why would you even bring this up as an example?
Exactly. No,
Yeah.
I agree.
This has been the story. So if you have a fact check for
I
me,
don't think,
I'm glad to hear
I don't
it.
think that is a story.
don't think that was
I don't
a
know
story?
the full story, no, but I don't think you do either, and that's what I'm telling you.
Well,
You should
it sounds
probably
like
say things you don't
I
know.
know the story way better than you.
Okay.
Because you're just saying, yeah, you don't know the story. It's like, no, I actually do.
We don't know if
I've actually-
I wish I was on this show so bad. I'm sorry. I'm so triggered. Here's what happens when I go on these shows, okay? When these guys get a chance to put like 8 women in front of them, they are the most fucking macho, alpha, aggressive
Right.
fucking guys in the world. And every time I go on these shows, okay?
I saw it on Fresh and Fit. When I
Yes!
was on with you. Literally, I didn't even get a chance to have a word in because they were actually listening to you and entertaining you.
Yeah.
Most of the time when I go on there, I have whole deep monologues, but no, like they would literally just focus on you and what you were saying, because even though if it was a girl saying it, they would have been shut down within 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Because it was you, they were entertaining it for the fact of the debate.
And then I just get really triggered when I watch it happen. And if I was here right now, like Adam is so wrong on the Crowder shit. And I know for a fact, I don't even think he read the Substack that got released. He has no idea what he's talking about. And he's just running with the narrative that got posted. I don't think he watched the video even. And because he didn't watch the video, because the fact that he says Steven Crowder was like, I still love you. That's literally the opposite of what he said in the video. He said, I don't love you. It was the exact opposite. But he's calling out
I
Melina
don't
here.
remember that exact point in the video, so I can't necessarily say, but okay. I don't love you. You're such a fast typer.
Yeah, I type 170 words per minute, okay? I live life on fast mode.
I wonder if I could type faster than you. I'm pretty fast too. Should we have a typing
You're
challenge
just
one
gonna
day?
casually drop that?
No, I've literally...
That'd be like me saying I could birth a child better than you, I bet.
Listen.
Just like out of nowhere.
Well, listen, that's the first time I've ever actually heard you type, but literally most of the people in my life have said I'm the fastest typer they've ever heard in their entire life. Majority of the people.
Okay. I mean, if you wanna make it that way, okay? Here. Go. Okay? Put
What
it
are we-
in its
what are
cup.
we typing?
Get it all. We're gonna enter a type erase. Be as comfortable as you want, okay? Okay, when you're ready, but now rest your hands on it, make sure everything is okay. The keys aren't spaced too far apart. Your nails aren't going to get in the way.
Can I do a practice first?
No.
Hold on. No. Just let me just type in at least like an email. Like, see, this is not my keyboard that I'm used to. I literally just turned into a typer. This is not the keyboard that I'm used to.
Maybe I could birth a child better than you. I'm not sure actually right now.
Is actually faster. See, no, I can't.
No,
this is not my keyboard. I've been typing on a Mac.
Okay.
I've been typing on a Mac for the last 4 years nearly, and that makes a very big difference, Destiny. And listen, I was never saying that I could actually really beat you. I was just saying I wonder what the disparity would be between you and I, since I noticed you type very fast, and most of the people in my life have said that I'm a very fast typer.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll bring my MacBook next time, and then we'll actually.
You came into my home.
Oh, yes, I know. I should have.
You tried to.
Listen, I was not trying.
My typing.
I was saying I wonder. I was not saying I would be better. I was saying I wonder.
Me personally, I wouldn't tolerate that kind of disrespect.
Okay.
I'm just fucking with you. Okay, we're continuing. Okay, sorry. Okay, but I'm sorry. I told you I was really triggered before you came here, so I'm very heated at all these people. So if I start screaming, don't get scared. The chances of me hitting you are like less than 25%. Okay.
Okay.
Actually interviewed the guy. I've actually read up.
What?
Good odds.
Yeah.
Do you know if the relationship was abusive? Wait, if you talk to him, of course he's going to tell the story that benefits him.
Okay, but you don't know anything about the story, is what I'm saying.
No idea.
He doesn't.
To him in person does not
That's
mean
like me
that
saying
you
I
know
played
him.
basketball
We
my
don't know
whole
what's
life.
going on.
I
It's
played
not
college basketball. I played in leagues. I'm friends with NBA players. I know all this, and I'm like, here's what I think's gonna
It does
happen in
not
the Heat
mean
game
that
tonight.
you know if
And
the
you're like, yeah, well, that's just
relationship,
on
what
your
the relationship
opinion.
is behind the doors. Like you have no idea, so you can't really say, right? Like there could be lots of things that's happening in the relationship that we don't know about.
Well, the reality is she's the one filing for divorce.
Yeah.
He had the first divorce lawyer, Adam. He got the divorce lawyer 1 month after that fight. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Oh my God, and he's getting away with all of this because nobody else knows the facts of the case.
So he should have gotten a post up.
It's not like, oh, we're all happy, and then I'm just filing for divorce from out of
I
nowhere.
hope
You
fucking
don't know
Destiny's
that.
got a post up with your ass, girl. Let me tell you that right now.
Really? Well, maybe you should ask me what I would do.
He doesn't
What would you do?
What I would do. So if I was a hardworking person and I was
Yes.
doing my job and I was building my career and they said, that's perfectly fine, you can do that. If they asked for a prenup, that would be fine for me. If they said, I'm going to fly you out, I don't want you to work, we're going to have 3 kids, and we're going to be together for a long time, and then from all of a sudden, they want a divorce, I'd be like, yeah, I'm taking like the half in that case because I've sacrificed years having our children, and now you're just going to dump me with no career, nothing. That's kind of, that's how
Very
I feel about it.
logical.
Well played. But also, a woman has a say in the prenup. She says, if I'm not going to have a career and I'm going to sit at home every day and take care of the kids, and we're married 10 years, here's what I expect.
Yeah,
and that's a
of course,
conversation.
that's
But
fine.
most people don't want to have that conversation.
Yeah, but if they
most
say
people
I
want to just
don't-
kind of do the ostrich thing, bury their head in the sand, not bring it up. Next thing you know, this guy signs a $50 million deal with Rumble,
I think
and
it's
she
really
wants
good
25
if
million.
you're being really clear about what you want. So if they would say, hell no, I'm not doing that, I'm not going to give you half if we have a divorce, that's perfectly fine. That's like their boundary. They're
Okay.
perfectly fine to do that, yeah.
Anyone
So,
here that would
real
just
quick.
absolutely...
The hypergamy debate comes into play here, right? And obviously this is.
Hold on, I'm so sorry.
Whoa.
Random shit.
Whoa. What was that?
My don't know people are
That was
dumb.
in my
I paused
ear.
it. Yeah, you're good.
Damn, I nearly forgot my point. But
Okay, go on.
so basically, I was
Hypergamy.
saying, so like what he is pointing to is like very true in a lot of instances. But I think what Mel is saying is right. That's not the majority of people. I would say, like, definitely that has affected.
What's not the majority of people?
The people who would go into a relationship to try to necessarily take advantage of
True.
being able to
I think it's
divorce and take
incredibly
somebody's
rare.
resources. I don't think it's incredibly rare.
I think it's incredibly
I don't think
rare.
I think on the balance of probability, it's probably not going to be the case. But
Only
I think
10% of divorces even have alimony awarded to them.
Really?
So, yes.
Okay.
I did all my Rolo debate research. Okay.
Okay, well, you won that.
Okay. Well,
No, I'm just saying that what the red pill preaches so far as that hypergamy thing, we can't deny that doesn't necessarily exist, right? That does exist sometimes, but I think what Mel's saying here in this instance is correct, that it's not.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Wait, does Giga Chad type faster than Soy Guys? Why does this guy type so fast? I'm sorry, my emotes are really weird. Is that normal? Okay. All right, back to this. Oh, it's broken. Okay.
would not sign a prenup or postnup no matter what.
No.
If your man became super successful. Guys, what we're saying is this. Listen for a second. A man's biggest fear is marrying a woman out of love, okay? Finding success, building a life, building a family, making millions, making billions, and then the woman, 78% of the time, the majority of the time, checks out of the relationship. Now
I hate that they present this divorce stat as like, they don't just say that 78% of the time women initiate divorce. When they say that, what they mean is it's their fault all the time. They initiate.
Like, so it could be, for example, from abuse, and then the woman initiates divorce, and they're saying it's because the woman's initiated it, right?
It would be like me beating the shit out of Melina, and then she breaks up with me, and they're like, look, Melina broke up with me. Yeah, and it's like, that's such a stupid fucking way of saying it. Like,
I mean, is there a way to like segment that data?
I haven't looked. I mean, I imagine you could probably Google like for at-fault divorces, how much they're awarded. But the problem is that if the at-fault divorce is awarded more in favor of the wife, people are just going to say the family courts are biased anyway. You can look up for like reasons of breakup or whatever. But like, it's nobody's saying that like women get bored and leave relationship and take all your shit. Like that's the narrative that they sell over and over and over.
But it does happen though. You can't say that it doesn't happen, and especially in in cities like Miami, and especially in places where that type of lifestyle is a lot more encouraged, especially on social media these days, and especially when it comes to women. No?
Yeah, we can say that. No, I wouldn't even grant that. I'm sure there are some people that do it, but I don't think anybody encourages people to get divorced. I think divorce is humiliating. I don't think people enjoy doing it, and nobody wants to do it. And when women do it, they've got a harder.
Talking about hypergamy in general, like for example, there's literally YouTube channels where women are teaching other women like how to extract the most amount of money from a man as possible.
Okay, but there are YouTube channels showing you how to give birth in your bathtub. Like, it doesn't mean that it's the norm. Like, yeah, I'm sure we can find crazy. There's a subreddit called Female Dating Strategy that has a bunch of insane women that talk about how to, like, milk men dry from everything. Like, yeah, these places exist, but it's very, very, very minor.
So you don't think that the way that our culture has developed over the last 10 years has any influence to a woman's sincerity in a relationship, whether she's actually in it for whether she cares about the fucking person or whether it's actually because she just wants the bag or wants some benefit or wants X, Y, Z? No?
No, I don't think so.
At all?
No.
Whatsoever?
Okay, maybe in 1% of them.
Really?
Yeah.
So for you, as somebody who is semi, whatever, like in this space, somebody who's fairly well known.
Semi in this space. I am solidly in this space.
No, sorry, I didn't mean to disrespect you at all.
Don't worry.
I didn't mean to in that regard.
Sorry, treat me like a British person. I'm sarcastic like 90%.
I'm pretty new to the YouTube world, okay?
Okay, go for it.
So would you not worry though that people, and I know that you have like a wife and stuff, so let's pretend that you didn't have a wife and you're actually like trying to date people. Would you not be considering the fact that a lot of the people who you're probably dating, like, yeah, maybe it's your intelligence, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, but would you not have that at the forefront of your own, maybe it's because of this? And that's something that has become more prevalent in today's society, especially over the period of the last 5 to 10 years, with social media, with all of these other values that have become like hyper exaggerated compared to what we used to kind of value in the past.
One, I'm very hard to tolerate for extended periods of time. Even if you think you're going to get a bag, I don't think most women can handle it. Okay, I'm a very obnoxious person, number one. And number two, no, I feel like you can tell. I don't think you could. Now, there's probably some like femme fatales or whatever the fuck, or like female assassin warriors or whatever that could legitimately seduce and steal a bunch of guys' money. But in general, to fake that type of like authentic attraction for a long period of time, I would imagine would be very, very, very difficult, at least for a well-off guy. Now, are there like 30-year-old women that might try to hunt down like 70-year-old guys and like who are really lonely and then trick them into getting a shit? I mean, I'm sure that happens.
Well, that's not necessarily that, because there's even that is called literally seeking engagement. Sorry to cut you off, but that's called, there's literally markets for that. I'm talking about even aside from that. If we're not even to account for the actual platforms that are literally facilitating that, what about everything that happens behind the scenes, like the actual thought process that goes into it? You don't think that that's really shifted in the last 5 to 10 years?
No.
With the increases of fame, with the increases of wealth, with the increases of technology, all of these things, you don't think it's changed relationship dynamics in any way, shape, or form in that regard?
If anything, I would say that it probably is starting to slightly favor men to some extent. Because one, now women that are online and doing shit are making a lot of money, especially in the OnlyFans world. I feel like every fucking girl I talk to, if you have here's a fast tip for women. If you have over 500,000 followers on Instagram, if you make an OnlyFans, if you have only over 500K on TikTok, or probably 150K on Instagram, over 100K on Twitter, on any of those platforms, and you make an OnlyFans, your floor is $20,000 a month in income. Okay, women are cashing out hardcore. The ones that are in this world on that. A lot of them are doing like entertainment and shit. And then in the real world, more women are working normal jobs and they're getting like paid, and like education rates are starting to favor women, or are grossly favoring women now. Income rates are starting to increase for women. So like at some point, like.
But what percentage of women have that many followers to be able to redirect them into a platform like OnlyFans in the first place? Like, yeah, maybe
well, no, that's rare, but you were asking in my industry specifically.
Right.
Like in my industry now, I'm meeting more wealthy women today than I ever have before.
Okay.
When I met porn stars in 2012, these are girls that are shooting like gangbang scenes for like $1,500.
Right.
You can get A-listers from the 2000s, A-list porn stars that are doing like double, triple gape anal scenes for $2,000. And now a girl can sell sell a picture of her pinky toe for like $500 to the right Arab dude.
Well, that's
or
kind
right
of
Turkish
like
guy,
that's kind
or
of like
right-
a contradiction then in the red pill, right? Because they say that it's like women like want your money and blah blah blah, but they're also saying that women want to be girl bosses, and so that kind of seems like a little bit of an oxymoron.
Well, no, they say they want your money because they don't want to be a girl boss. Oh no, you're right, because they're saying women want to be girl boss, but yeah, I don't know.
Right, that's
everything in their shit.
Oxymoron, right?
No, yeah, it's totally contradictory. I agree. Yeah.
It's interesting.
Destiny, no man wants an OnlyFans girl, bro. I already know for a fact that if girl showed up on your doorstep, you'd fall to your knees in an instant.
Yeah, but would he marry her? No, he probably would not. It depends on the prospects that he has.
Absolutely. The average red pill viewer would drop on his knees and he would probably share an OnlyFans girl with another guy, unironically. No, seriously, for a lot of these guys that are like 25, 30 that have never even kissed a girl before, if they had an OnlyFans chick who's like, listen, I'm going to date you, but also,
Yeah, the guys have never kissed a girl before, but that's not the premise of the red pill movement. It's to try to teach men how to become more of these high value men, to the fact that they don't have to subscribe to these types of manipulation tactics and these lower value women who are living that lifestyle. That's the point.
Yeah, but their advice is dog shit, and nobody's
So you're saying that the advice doesn't help them achieve it, so therefore it's invalid.
Well, I'm saying, one, it's invalid because the advice doesn't help achieve it, and two, the only people in these spaces are those types of people. Because if you're a successful man, I'm not going to tune into a red pill podcast where the guy's going to tell me to work out and sell shit on Amazon.com. Like, why would any successible guy tune into that?
I mean, why do successful guys tune into anything? If you're already successful,
they don't. Successful guys aren't going. That's like saying that, I make billions of dollars trading hedge funds. I got to go catch fucking Kramer's show on stock picks. That doesn't happen,
You're
right?
only going to tune into a specialized field that's actually within your niche. But for a majority of the people, they haven't found that field of specialization. They haven't found that niche. They haven't found that thing. And so if they're able to get guidance from something that's actually going to be constructive and giving them,
yeah, I agree.
And I feel like that's.
But I don't. The problem I have with the red pills is I don't feel like their advice is constructive.
Any way, shape, or form. You don't feel like in any way it's not a net positive in any way, shape, or form.
Nope. The old PUA. Do you know like the pickup artist community?
Not really, no.
The older like PUA stuff and some of that, I think even if some of it was a little bit misogynistic, I think there was a lot of value there for guys trying to capture women, trying to like women or hook up with women. Right. But in the modern red pill spaces, no. I think that the advice is I think it is contrary to trying to get laid. And that's why you see people like Andrew and Tristan Tate are even tweeting out here every day like, red pillers, that shit is cringe, don't call us red pill.
Right, but that's only just in recent times because a lot of it has become very convoluted. You give somebody a mile and they take a mount. What's the saying? Inch and they take a mile, right?
Sure, but that's true. But like if you read like any of the, if I cut you off, just keep going, sorry.
You're fine. No, you go.
Okay, if you watch like the old like even Tristan Tate videos, we watched like a whole bunch of his like pickup stuff on stream, and you compare their advice to like what you get for like modern red pill shit, it's night and day. You've got like people, like when you watch like Tristan and Andrew talk about women, they clearly have a lot of women. They clearly have a lot of experience. They clearly know what they're doing. And then you go to the red pill space and they're saying things like, well, multiple women want to share one man, and if you cheat on your woman, it makes her more competitive.
They're not necessarily saying that. They're saying that it could be tolerable for a high value man in that space. They're not saying that that should be the standard thing for every single guy. But they do. They say every guy should build themselves up to that space. Yeah, they're saying that's what you should possibly aspire to, which I do see some contradictions in that regard, like having multiple women.
Yeah, but even when you aspire to that, that is not realistic. That doesn't happen in the real world. Except for people juggling maybe like Miami girls.
So the interdynamics relationship part, there's parts I agree with, there's parts I disagree with. The part that I really resonate with the red pill is just like having the ability to be able to actually question everything, including and especially your own thoughts and assumptions and how you were raised up.
They make me question my thoughts and assumptions a lot.
Well, you know what I mean? And so that's what I think the red pill is really good for, and it can be good in a lot of regards. It could be good from a political standpoint, from a relationship standpoint.
Were you on the show last time where they were literally giving the advice that you shouldn't live with your girl?
I was literally, that's where I met you, dude. That's
wild. That's wild advice. You should live with your bros instead.
And so I know that I brought up a point and I was like trying to debate you on that. I was really reaching, guys, for anyone who's like,
sure,
I was reaching because I just wanted an excuse to debate you. Yeah. But the underlying sentiment of what they said was true in the sense of like when you're away from somebody, you miss them a lot. Like for me, for example, me and my ex, we've been broken up for like the last 2 weeks. He's been out of the house. I'm like, damn, maybe our relationship would have actually worked if we were living separate. But to your point, it's the intention that matters. And it's like, I don't want to have to come up with a cheat code to have to figure out how to make my relationship work. If our relationship is good and it's meant to be long term and this is for me, then we're going to be able to figure out how to do that amongst ourselves.
Yeah, like if there's a guy who's like really busy and he's active in his life all the time and you're texting him or whatever and sometimes it takes a little bit to get back to you, like it's okay because he's like active and he's ambitious or whatever.
Right,
but let's say that you found out like this guy has a rule that when he gets a text from a girl, he's not allowed to respond for 8 hours.
But that's not a rule that the red pill makes.
No, it is. Because you're saying, well, what if you missed your man because he's traveling, he's out working, and then he's gone for a little bit and he comes back? That's a lot different than saying, like, I have to live separately from you, honey, because I want to make you be more attracted to me.
That's the exact same comparison.
Right. But they're not saying that they would actually like say that to somebody.
No,
like,
they're saying they did say that. They would say, we're going to have to live in separate houses. I need to live with my men in our man cave while we build our man businesses, and I'll come see you 3 days a week.
Okay, so on that point, we can just say that we agree.
Okay.
If I had a blue, we got to put it on.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay, can I keep going?
Yes.
He loses his love, he loses his family, and he loses half his money and his house and every his assets. That is a major concern for successful men. And that's why the initial question was, why are men not willing to get married today? It's like, Exhibit A.
He says this is a major concern for successful men. Don't married men tend to be wealthier? Wealth levels, married versus single men. Like, isn't it generally wealthier people that are getting married more?
I mean...
Because that would kind of contradict his point of like, this is what men are worried about. If that was true, then wouldn't wealthy people avoid marriage?
Yeah, but again, this goes back to the other argument that we had about old money versus new money. I feel like a lot of people, back in the day, that was one of the key elements of success, was find a partner who can help support you in your endeavors. But now, because of the hypergamy thing, it's a little bit more complicated for
married
men to do that
men
nowadays.
All married men make. Also, the hypergamy thing.
But also, that could change. Again, there's been more millionaires created in the last 5 years than ever before. And so how can we possibly say how that data is going to reflect in the next 5 to 10?
Millionaires are still like 0.001% of people.
Yeah, that's... Okay, yeah.
All right.
That's true.
Hey, Jeff fucking Bezos, 38 billion.
But that's a guy that's like a fucking billionaire. You have to like pick the ones that you have to talk for the people that have regular jobs, right? And I don't think that is why
millionaires
people
are very
get
common
married.
right now.
No,
they're not. Sorry.
This is my point.
Millionaires millionaires are not.
I saw your debates where you're like yelling people like, Steven, you're scaring me. I'm scared right now, Steven. You can yell. It's fine. I'm not going to get scared. Okay. I'm Australian.
Okay.
You can yell.
Millionaires are not very common right now. Okay.
Not like every fucking
They're more
millionaire is
common
like
than they've ever been before.
Yeah, and so is fucking esports players, okay? But the average person means not going to be a League of Legends LCS professional gamer, okay?
It's a target. Like,
it's not hard to become a millionaire
people
anymore.
that are working like in the same area, because that's what most people do. That's most people that get married work in the same sort of area and make the same amount of money. So why are they? Yeah, I know, but you're saying that the reason today why people don't divorce or they don't want to get married is because the woman is going to take half. But most women and men don't do this right now, where the man is the one making everything and the woman.
Also, if I had to guess, I'm going to take a guess here. My guess is going to be that the average net worth of somebody under 30 is probably negative. Or if it's not negative, it's probably close to zero. That's my guess. Okay, I'll guess $5,000. That's my guess. I don't know. Let's see.
I mean, apparently the average American is like, I think it was like close to like 10K or something in savings.
Yeah, but 10K in savings doesn't tell you what your net worth is, because you might be upside down on a car, you might owe more on your house than you have, you might have credit card debt as well.
That's true.
Or student loans as well. Average net worth, 30-year-old person.
In America? Or does it do that automatically?
Okay, it's $14,000 for under 35.
Okay.
So are people really worried about losing your wife is going to divorce and steal $7,000 from you?
But again, this is not the people that they're preaching their message to.
Okay,
because even though it's not the majority of people, it's still a lot of people, and especially the media that this type of content is predicated towards. These are people who are aspiring to this. Therefore, that's why it's relevant.
Sure, but they're talking about right now, why are men afraid to get married? I don't think a guy who's 27 with a net worth of negative $40,000 from student loans is worried about getting married because his wife is going to steal him. There's probably other problems.
That makes sense. I got you.
And it's not. It doesn't happen anymore. So
why
do people not marry? That's not an answer for it, because most people are not super rich.
True. The divorce in itself is a massive inconvenience. Tearing apart a family is an inconvenience. Like, what part of that don't you get?
What are you talking?
What? I hate this.
I just saw this guy on a fucking app.
I hate him so much. Oh my god!
He was the one who was saying you should stay when you're getting.
And he's doing it again. You should stay. Yeah.
Oh fuck.
It's not about just money. It's not about. Listen, I'm gonna explain. You gotta be quiet.
Yeah, but you're not.
He would never say that to me. You got to be quiet. He would never say that. He's so catty. Okay, sorry. Hold on. Now, so Adam is making the argument that it's all about money, and now he's saying it's not just about money. So they're contradicting each other, but that's fine. Sorry, did you?
He was just saying it was about money, and now he's saying it's not about money.
Well, Adam was saying that it's mainly money, and now he's saying it's not about money.
But they're meant to be on the same side, so they're contradicting themselves.
Maybe not. Who knows? We'll see. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
You're good.
You're not.
Then you're not listening. Calm down. I will. Okay. The point I'm trying to tell you is that it's not just the money. Okay. When women are rushing en masse, 78% of the time to initiate these divorces.
Rushing to initiate divorce. They're rushing. The courthouse is a line of women outside fighting each other.
It's a fucking marathon. They're doing hurdles and shit.
Like, it's so fucking cringe.
What is the incentive for a man to get married when women are given the pussy already? They're cooking, they're cleaning, they're doing everything. Why would he be like, okay, let me just sign this contract that potentially you could f me over at any point?
But if they're making the same amount of money, it's not like it's really a problem.
And also, a lot of it comes back to religious values as well. Why he's meant to be, I'm guessing, leaning to the more conservative side.
Nobody knows. He's a guy that lives in Japan that doesn't speak any Japanese.
Well, who fucking knows? A lot of his values seem to be more right-leaning, right? A little bit more conservative. A lot of people get married because that's the fucking Christian value to do, or that's the value in their religion.
And also,
how about that?
And also, marriage is a protection for the woman, right? Because if a woman is going to have kids, which is ideally, like, if you're getting married, it probably should be to have children. If the woman is going to have children, it's a big sacrifice of time
for
on her part.
Career
it's a
and
big sacrifice on career, on health,
Mm-hmm.
on future availability for other guys. Because if you're a woman and you've got a kid or 2 or 3, other guys, it's harder.
It's going to impact your future dating ability.
So
for
of course, there's nothing wrong with a woman being like, "Hey, listen, I'm willing to make this sacrifice and go on this journey for you in our life. But if we break up, I have to get compensated somehow because my life is going to be."
Right.
Because I'm probably going to end up taking care of the kids. I'm probably not going to be working very much. My career is already in the shitter, and it's going to be harder for me to find something else.
And that's why that institution was initially set up, though, right?
Yeah,
but
to
now
protect women.
This is why they're saying now, with the rise of feminism, with the rise of blah blah blah, all of this stuff, now women are being very hypergamous.
You keep saying that word, and I don't believe it's a real thing.
I'm just laughing because I remember what you were trying to say. So, is the antonym to that hypogamous? Are we hypogamous?
Well, yeah,
they
because
didn't even understand what you were saying. They were so confused. It was so funny.
Okay, all
I
right.
didn't even understand what the fuck you're talking about. Okay, let's continue.
And the people are separated.
Not anymore.
I think that it's safe to say by the time a woman decides to file for divorce, the guy's already emotionally checked out.
Women do that way more than men do. Emotionally checking out from a relationship. Women break up with you 6 months ahead of time.
But maybe that's not the woman's
That's
fault.
true.
Look at all these girls laughing when I said that. Look at all these girls laughing when I said
Anybody
that.
disagree with MLD? Had to say about
what
that?
is he saying? I don't understand.
He's saying that. Go ahead.
A lot more women emotionally check out of relationships way more than dudes do.
I also like how these guys will always talk about like accountability. If you're weak, go to the gym. If you're poor, get a job. But like if your relationship is failing, it's because like an evil snake woman is trying to destroy. Yeah, where is the accountability for the men whose relationships are falling apart? Like, isn't a relationship 2 people? Like, isn't it part of your job to make sure that your woman is happy and everything? Like, isn't that part of your fucking shit?
Yeah,
like,
very much so. No arguments for me there. I'm gonna
I
get
think
another
love
water.
takes
You're what?
I'm gonna get another water.
Oh, go
I need to
for
stay
it.
hydrated. I'm sorry.
That's fine, as much as you want to. Okay. Way to go.
Did I break it?
No, you're good. Nothing breaks in here. Anything that breaks in here would have been broken a long time ago.
Just tango to
Okay. Ready?
Yes.
What's the detriment in that? I don't understand your point to saying that. What's the she checks out?
Because you were saying that men emotionally check out.
Yeah, but you're in the relationship. It's a marriage. It's 2 people. So if the guy checks out, and you're both barbaric. You don't know how to communicate. You have kids. She's still cooking, cleaning, whatever traditional role you guys want her to play nowadays. The guy just pays the bills and provides, and he's there. That's all his job is. If a woman, like I'm saying most of the time, hey, you should learn how to emotionally communicate with your woman. Oh, that's gay. We don't do that. We don't need to communicate. Like, dude, you have to communicate with your partner.
I agree with that. That's what these guys say. Yeah, yeah, being emotional. That's gay. Like, we don't need to do that. That's feminine. Blah blah blah.
But the minute I bring that up, everyone demonizes that because like, no, men are masculine. We don't need to tap to
I didn't say that. I just said that women are the ones initiating the divorces. They're the ones tearing families apart.
They're tearing families apart.
Divorce is for a reason.
Notice they don't bring up the fact that men cheat like twice as much as women do or anything like that. But
no, they're not.
Do you know what the number 1 cited reason is, Miss Genius?
Abuse.
Yeah, you. Abuse, no.
Abuse.
Lithuania?
No, it doesn't necessarily have to be abuse, but you're not happy together.
No,
Obviously,
so hold on,
you
let me ask the
divorce
girls.
because you're not happy. That's what
Do
you
you know?
do. That's why people
say
divorce.
not happy, like
Not happy. Melina, do you know why the number 1 reason women stay for divorce?
I feel like their love tanks aren't getting filled.
The same thing.
People aren't happy. That's it. That's why people divorce.
I actually looked this up the other day. I forget.
You looked it up?
The reason. And I remember it was really general. Like super.
It's like unsatisfied with the relationship or something. It is like a really general thing.
So general. What the fuck?
Do you know?
But that's because the reality is, how long did you date your ex for?
4 years now.
Okay, relationships are like pretty complicated. Like it's pretty rare, unless like some crazy shit happens, that one thing is why you break up. And actually, even crazy shit happening, it's probably not going to be. There's going to be like a is it penumbra? Is that the word I'm looking for?
Sometimes.
There's going to be multiple things that are going on that are right. Like if somebody hits you, it's unlikely that everything was totally cool in the relationship, everybody's happy, and then one day your boyfriend fucking hits you. There's probably a whole bunch of shit leading up to everything, you know?
Yeah, I got you.
The number 1 reason that
people get
that women file for divorce?
Yeah.
My guess is they're just unhappy. They've emotionally checked out.
It's
irreconcilable differences?
Right there, yeah.
Yeah, and what does that mean exactly?
Emotions.
Yeah.
Your point to that, I don't get it.
Look at what he says. He's like, emotion. Imagine caring about emotion in a relationship. He's such a clown.
Emotions aren't important in relationships?
If you're going to make all of your life decisions based upon your emotions, you're going to be a very miserable person.
But emotions, like, It's a relationship. Like, what the fuck do you think? Like, are you like getting married to the fucking king of England? Is this like some fucking like an actual like matriarchal alignment of two different countries that you're doing for alliances?
Agreed, but to play devil's advocate, you also can't make all of your decisions in a relationship based on emotion, because then you would be fucking fighting all of the time. Sometimes you can be right or you can be happy.
Sure,
you know
I agree.
What I mean?
But the foundation of every relationship is an emotional one. It is the most important part.
Of course.
Okay,
Otherwise,
sure.
you don't have a relationship.
Exactly, yeah. But he's like, emotion?
I think what he's saying is you don't necessarily need to weaponize every single emotion or every single feeling that you have to...
That's not what he's saying. What he's saying is, I'm a big fucking moron, and I don't think emotions matter at all because I'm a manly man, masculine, blah, 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 blah.
Okay. That's what he's saying.
I need to remove my camera a little bit.
Okay.
What are your tattoos? Explain for the audience.
They're bad. They're very bad tattoos. I've always considered myself to be a pretty lucky person, so when I decided I actually wanted to get these, I just looked up like the closest tattoo place near me in Maui, Hawaii, and I walked there and I got these 2 tattoos and I regret it, and that's the story. So one of them is the number 22 with some angel wings. Okay. My dad passed away when I was really young. 22 was his lucky number, and I also got. Let's not even talk about the other one. That's fine.
A relationship one or what?
No. I got a middle finger tattoo. It's pretty obnoxious. It's fine.
Can I see what it says?
It says girl power. Which is very ironic.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I appreciate the irony. I do.
Irreconcilable differences?
Right there, yeah.
Yeah, and what does that mean exactly?
Emotions.
Yeah.
Your points to that, I don't get it. Emotions aren't important in relationships?
If you're going to make all of your life decisions based upon your emotions, you're going to be a very miserable person.
But emotions fuel us as humans.
Let her
phrase. That phrase continuously. You guys make it seem like it's just transactional. Like, he pays, provides, you cook, you clean, we don't hug each other. Screw the banter, screw all that stuff. That's still part of a relationship. These guys nowadays just think, oh, you know what, travel back in time, you don't need to work anymore, I'll provide everything, and you just be a sex slave. Like, that's not normal.
True and based.
Yeah.
Healthy.
I want that.
Conversation with
She wants that over here.
Look at how he fucking, look at, hold on.
Just be a sex slave. Like, that's not normal. That's not even healthy.
I want that.
Conversation with
Look at how he, I can't respond. Look at my fucking teeth as I fucking beam you with fucking light that's brighter than the surface of the sun. And they don't, is Adam gonna make him answer that, or are they just gonna fucking completely divert off that point?
She wants that over here.
I sure do.
Yeah, you think you want that for like what, 1 or 2 years, and there's nothing to actually build on that. Like,
no, but look at how bad mentally I have had to stoop down to that. For me, I would be the happiest person in the world being a sex slave, being at home raising a family.
Yes, but how would you feel? How would you feel 2 years in, and you're the sex slave or whatever, and the next thing he's like, you know what? I want a little banter. You don't have banter. I'm gonna find another chick that does banter.
But that's what's happening.
But okay, you're normalizing it.
I am normalizing it because you have to.
You bring up a very good point.
Wait,
you bring up a very good point.
I have no idea.
What the fuck was that interaction? That didn't make any fucking sense.
The women who are the least happy in relationships is when they're relegated to just the simple, traditional trad wife, cook, clean, fuck, that's your job. Because there's an element that's like, okay, cool, that's part of it. But women also need to have a purpose and feel like they have a passion for something. So now it's incumbent on the man if he's successful. I'm not talking about the $40,000 Swedish friends of yours. I'm talking about successful men with a very beautiful woman. That's what we're solving for here, guys. I'm not talking about 2 homeless people fucking in the street and they're not getting a prenup. I'm talking about a successful guy and a beautiful woman.
Exactly.
This is what I'm solving for here, guys. It's incumbent on that man to now empower the woman, to give her a bigger piece and incentivize her to say, hey, baby, this is what I'm building. Yes, I want you to be my beautiful wife. Yes,
If any of the women said this, that MLD guy would be jumping down their throat. Let's see if he fights the man on the podcast, Adam, on this opinion. Let's see.
Why would they be jumping down a woman's throat for saying this?
The MLD guy would, because he just did for making fun of like the emotion thing or whatever. I think if a woman said this,
what specifically about what he just said do you think would be made fun of?
That women need purpose, that women need drive, that it's a man's job to give it. Because this guy over here,
part of that that's true. A part of that comes from raising your family.
Yeah, I know that's true. I know that's true, but I don't think the MLD guy would agree with that if it was coming from a woman.
Okay, let's see.
I want you to take care of our children. Yes, I want you to be like Melina and a sex slave. Awesome. But I also need your help building X, Y, and Z. Where can you help? Right. Well, I love technology. All right, great. I'm going to put you as the fucking CTO. Oh, I love marketing. You're the new CMO, baby. Oh, I love advertising. Let's get your advertising on. And giving the woman a purpose. Because you are right that a woman cannot just be satisfied. I'm the cooker, I'm the cleaner, I'm the fucker. I get it. At some point, a woman will check the fuck out. I totally agree.
You just described it right there. That's what I sound
like. But not America. So,
did you hear what he said? Did you hear that?
At some point, just gonna want to check out?
No. I thought I just heard MLD slithering in the background, and I think he said some women like that.
Oh, really?
I think he said that. I think. Well, let me hear. I might have misheard. I thought I heard him peeping up out there.
At some point, a woman will check the fuck out. I totally agree.
You just described my brain right there. That's what I sound like.
I think he said some women are like that. Yeah, so he does believe that.
Wait.
And if one of the women would have said it, he would have fought
Wait,
them
did
on
he
it.
said some women are like that or some women like that?
Both. Or it's the same meaning. He means there would be some women that just want to be like fuck bang maids or whatever and do nothing in the household or whatever. I think
Okay.
that's what he's, I think that's
America. So women do need to have a sense of purpose.
For
I think that's
sure.
what you're
I think
saying.
anyone has a sense of
I agree.
purpose, yes.
But here's the difference. Men do not have the luxury of having a flip-flop on these things. One day I want to be a stay-at-home wife. One day I want to be a boss babe. One day I want to be a sex slave. One day I want to be an accountant. We don't have that luxury. We wake up, we put on our fucking pants, we get to work. We put on our big boy pants. We don't have the luxury of being like, I don't know, today maybe I'll start an OnlyFans. No, I'm going to go to college. No, I'm going to get a degree.
I don't think
no,
most
I'm going to
women
find a
are
rich
extreme,
guy.
Adam.
Guys don't have that luxury. Women have that
I don't
luxury.
think women are like that. I don't think most people are like
He's got a point.
That guys don't have the luxury of changing their mind on shit? Hold on.
The luxury of being like, I don't know, today maybe I'll start an OnlyFans. No, I'm going to go to college. No, I'm going to get a degree.
I don't think
no,
most
I'm going to
women
find a
are
rich guy.
The start an OnlyFans is pretty rare. Like, not many girls can do that and make a lot of money.
I know, but what he's saying is most girls are able to really radically change up their life plan, and probably mostly due to privilege, right? So if they're like have pretty privilege, if they have XYZ, then they're able to more easily get into that new field that they want to.
Sure, but that's going to be true of guys that are like relatively successful as well.
Not as much, though. Not as much. I mean, I guess it comes down to charisma at the end of the day, for sure. But ultimately, women do have that advantage. Like, it's easier for women to get what they want in most things versus men.
What if we look at the
There's
biggest burden that people typically have in their lives, raising a child? That's something that men can get away 1,000,000 times more from than women. Like, I think 50% of people don't even pay child support.
Okay.
If a woman has a kid, she's like, I have this kid, I'm fucked.
But that's an example where you're trying to you need to actually this is something that you have responsibility for. What we're talking about here is something that you're trying to get. He's saying the woman's ability to be able to swap and change and shift careers and change her mind and do X, Y, Z. It's much easier naturally because she is a woman and because naturally she's going to have a bigger support system. Naturally, there's probably.
Why would she have a bigger support? I don't know.
Because oftentimes there's guys who are going to step up and say going back again. This is if she has pretty privilege, if she has X, Y, Z.
Yeah, we're talking about babes, but I don't think most guys that are doing decently wealthy are going to be like, oh, someone was like, hey, I kind of don't want to work and I'm kind of switching up. Can I just live with you?
No, that's not what he's saying. He's saying that women have the ability to be able to switch and change up their mind a little bit faster than guys because they have more allowances and they have more convenience available to them. And
I feel like men have just as much. Men can join the military, men can switch jobs, men can. But we can agree to disagree.
Let's get listening.
Let's agree to disagree. Okay.
Guys don't have that luxury. Women have that luxury.
I don't think women are like that. I don't think most people are like that.
No, that most relationships aren't like that, where the woman just gets to choose whatever she wants to do that day. I don't think most relationships.
Yeah, if you're living with a household with a woman and you guys are both paying the bills, the woman can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna not work anymore because you're probably gonna lose your fucking house.
Right. Yeah.
But
I'm saying with your life, women have the luxury of a choice. The choice is, do I want to be a mother and build a household, or do I want to be a businesswoman and start a business? It's very hard to do both. A man, his job is to work his ass off, provide, protect, and yes, spend some time with the kids.
Wait,
No
why
doubt.
can it be equal? Why can't it be father 50% and mother 50% and both work? Why can't it be that? Isn't that possible?
Sure.
That's the culture I come from. That's the culture I'm coming from. It's pretty equal that way.
This is why, respect to the women, you're the ones that have to get pregnant. You're the ones that can't work for 9 months. You're the ones that have to breastfeed. You're the ones that have to raise children. I respect the fuck out of that. Don't downplay and diminish the role of a mother. Andrew Tate famously said he went to his grandmother's funeral.
I don't think any of us are.
And there was a whole litany and legacy of family there. Nobody gave a shit what grandma's job was. They cared that she was the figurehead, the mother of the family. And she gave life to 80 people in a room. That's a beautiful, amazing thing. Chelsea Handlers of the world are basically spitting on grandma, being like, yeah, I don't give a shit about your bloodline, your lineage. I'm gonna get my money.
Yeah, but you can be a mother and you can.
Why can't you have both?
It's fine.
yeah, exactly. Of course, if you go to a funeral, people are gonna be focused on family. But if
Right.
we went to fucking grandma's house and she lived in a fucking mansion, they'd probably focus on her job, right? It depends on the setting, right?
Line your lineage. I'm gonna get my money.
Yeah, but you can be a mother and you can have a job. That's fine, as long as you're being equal in the family with
Yes,
that.
there's a difference between a job and a career.
I think you can have a job career and then you could also have a child.
Very hard to
yes.
do.
No, I think it's perfectly possible.
This is true. It's very hard for both parents to have careers while having children. I don't think
Yeah,
you can do
and I agree with a lot of what he's saying in the sense that oftentimes if a woman is going to be successful, naturally she does adopt a lot of those more masculine traits because she does adopt the more assertiveness, she's a little bit more disagreeable, blah, 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 a lot of the traits that you need to have success in general. So I see where he's coming from in that sense.
Sure.
And
my parents did that, and every single person that I know in Sweden did. It's
holding board
no,
meetings, not easy to do.
We're talking about 9 months, and then we're talking about a year, after when the child is born, when the parents, both the parents, are a little bit more involved with the kid's life, taking care of a lot
How would
more.
you know? You never had kids.
No, I don't have kids, but I was a kid, and I have.
I was a kid.
Why would he say that? Does this fucking guy have kids? Oh, I hate him. I hate everything this guy says. Every single time this guy opens his mouth.
Right? And I know
No
what this is
kids.
like. Of
Anyway,
course,
let's move on to the next topic.
Do we not know?
Why does he always does this? After this guy makes some fucking snide, dumb, retard fucking comment, he's like, let's move on to the next topic.
We don't know what it's like to be a parent and what a good parent is. I
Melina.
think we all have
Melina.
kind of like an ideal
Do I have
parent
your permission
here.
on my show to move on to the next topic?
Yeah, you're allowed to,
Melina.
Adam.
I
It's
love
all
you.
right.
Appreciate that.
This is Mel's show now.
I
Okay?
feel like you might have some of the things in the next topic. By the way, before we move on to the next topic, which is about daddy issues, before we go there, we've got about a half hour left, and I want to get through some topics. Natalia, you're managing the chat. We're giving a giveaway at the end for the Fresh and Fit live event here at Valuetainment. Nat, what are you seeing in the chat? What super chats we need to read? What you got going on over there?
All right, so I'll go through the chats. I actually have a wheel of names. So I'm putting in all the chats that you guys send in that are $5 and more. So if you send in multiple chats that are $5 and more, you'll be in the wheel multiple times. And at the end, we'll pick a winner for the SOSCAST live event with Fresh and Fit. But as that continues, I'll read some of the chats. Thank you all for the super chats today. We appreciate it. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and do all that fun stuff. We'll start off with the first one. We have a Leon VRP. MLD making rounds live is my version of a World Cup. He said, the eyes say it all. Chico Don knows, please save my eyes. Roberto Blake, fan of the show, I'd like to hear a rational argument for why emotional vulnerability is more of a benefit than liability to men and why it shouldn't be reserved only for wife versus when dating. Then we have Beaten Cheeks in the chat.
Your boy.
Beaten Cheeks.
Your boy,
My
Beaten
boy.
Cheeks.
This chat was for me. Nat,
Okay.
I'm sorry you're feeling down. Just know that if you were single, I'd take you on a coffee and I'd love to take you on the tour of Valuetainment building. Thanks, Beaten Cheeks.
By the way, Natalia's feet pics are on sale right now. Buy one, get one foot free. If you would like same for her bathwater, sign up to her OnlyFeet account. It's on onlyfeet.com.
Yeah, sponsored by Valuetainment, right? Then we have Leon again. He said, tell me why. Then we have Bean Cheeks again. The panel is dead. Did everyone race too hard in Miami this weekend? Wake up, my lord. That was at the beginning.
Wake up, ladies.
Now
Party too hard. You heard it
everyone's
from
waking up.
who made that
Everyone's
comment?
waking up. That was Bean Cheeks, but that was earlier.
You know Bean Cheeks says
That
it.
was
You know
earlier.
it's true.
And then we have again Bean Cheeks. Melina's too masculine for my feminine energy. Bean.
Hell yeah.
Bean Cheeks, you're exposing yourself. Then we have Leon.
I'll take care of him later.
Then we have Leon BRP again. He said, ladies, isn't it exhausting to constantly be masculine, to never be yourself, to not do what's literally in your DNA? It must be very unfulfilling daily reality. Then we have Bean Cheeks again. Why does your family think...
I like how these people that talk about like what's in their DNA are literally guys that sit at home, weigh 355 pounds, play League of Legends all day long, smoke weed, and do nothing with their lives. And they're
Right.
talking about like what's built into our DNA.
I mean, but to a degree, there is some science to like back it up to a degree, but also, you know, culture and environment can change things. But I agree to a degree. I think that the ultimate fulfillment that a woman can get is from leaving her legacy from raising a family. I do agree with that to some degree.
That's so good.
I do. Which honestly, for me, that's like one of the main things that Fresh and Fit really influenced me on. I didn't want to have kids, actually.
You're so brainwashed.
You think?
We'll fix that.
I feel like I'm pretty open-minded right now having this conversation with you. I don't feel like we'd be too polarizing right
True.
now.
Okay, yeah.
I'm pretty open-minded,
Okay,
so let's
that's
see.
good. All
Let's
right,
see.
we'll fix that. Don't worry.
What does your family think of your OnlyFans job, Blonde? But that's you.
Maylene?
I'm assuming we'll get into that.
Then
We'll address that in a second. Yes.
Then we have Just Dairy Podcast. W. Angela looking fire. Yes, you are.
Angela does look nice today.
Yes,
I
she
gotta
does.
give credit.
Phenomenal.
Then we
Everyone
have- looks nice.
Yes, everyone does look very lovely. Then we have WMLD.
Even you,
Save That
Melina.
Money. Melina looks
Melina's
very
actually
cute.
very necessary.
Oh, thank you.
Every podcast needs a girl to talk too much, so a guy can be like, would you
Shut
stop
up,
it?
bitch.
Yeah, I didn't say that. That's MLD's job.
Then we have Leon VRP. No disrespect to Destiny's wife, but man, this is going to be a total wreck in 10 years. Over time, the entire castle lies inevitably comes down.
Sure, I'm gonna transform until then. So I'm
Nah,
on my way.
And then we have Uncle
What did she
Luke,
say?
one of the biggest super chats. He said, first
I'm
of all,
gonna transform into a man, I think. Maybe I don't know.
off the cap, I make over 6 figures. I'm over 6 feet and packing. Never had issues getting played here, and I would still rather have a lady outside the U.S. is more traditional country. Y'all are cap. Then we have Beaten Cheeks. Again, ladies understand us wealthy folks don't care about about where we meet women. I'll gladly take a beautiful young girl working at McDonald's over any of you. Then we have Uncle Luke
This is the most cap point in the world. It gets brought up on all these shows all the time.
again. He said,
Damn.
you Western 304s are mad because you can't compete with ladies in Japan or other traditional nations because you bought nonsense of the hyper-individualism. Then we have Bethune-Cookman groundskeepers. Mel Rep and Destruction for Nuclear Family Squad. Then we have another from Leon VRP. I think he said, I lived experiencing the freedom in boundaries. No boundaries is a recipe for absolute self-destruction. And then we have Bethune-Cookman ground speakers again. Gustik, not
yeah.
clout, Inu to make it in the description box. I didn't get that one. Then we have Uncle Luke again. Shout out to MLD. I know you can't wait to be back around real lovely ladies back in Japan. Men self-improve and go where you're appreciated. Then we have Marcellus Wallace. How do we enter for the raffle? I'd love to see you live. Again, $5 super chat, and then every time you super chat $5 and
Why
more.
do we use Japan as this like model fucking country?
I don't know. I've heard
The birth rates in
I've heard
Japan, I think, are
Sneaker
some of
talk
the
about it,
lowest.
like,
Yeah,
recently.
because he talks about it because he got brainwashed by some conspiracy dude called Ryan Dawson. So every new opinion you hear from Sneeko is coming from Ryan Dawson.
was a Japanese person.
He lives in Japan. He's another white guy that lives in Japan.
Okay.
Sorry, I cut you off. Keep going.
No, you're fine. I was just asking.
It's not fine. Don't say it's fine when
I'm
stand up for yourself. Don't let me just roll.
No, you're not steamrolling me. I was literally just saying, isn't that not relevant to what Sneakers? He was talking about something about Japanese women being way more.
Sure. The
different.
Japanese.
I don't know.
Yeah, the Japanese birth rate is one of the lowest in the world. 1.34 births per woman. So why is this always our model society for replacing humans on the planet? And it's like one of the most depressed countries in the world. Okay, like people like kill themselves. It's so depressing living in Japan that people kill themselves and other people applaud them for it.
Well, they're not specifically talking about this, but what they're correlating it with is femininity, which should also therefore be correlated with like.
Okay, but like let's say that's true. Okay, if the most feminine women are in Japan, it seems like that's not working out too well for them.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's a contradiction of the data.
All right, we'll put you in the wheel, and then at the end, we'll pick a certain winner.
Oh, I like this Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, Wheel of Names.
2 tickets to the Fresh and Fit live podcast here at the SOSCAST.
That's going to be
Valuetainment Studios. This will be June 2nd, Friday night. Let's do it. All right. Anything else, Nat?
Yeah, I got a few more. Let me just.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. You kind of seemed like you were in wind down mode.
No, I'm good. Then we have Being Cheeks, mail-in chats. Don't sub for any OnlyFans or female streams. Use that money to focus and build your own worth. Not the matriarchal thirst industries for females that won't ever meet you or respect you. Then we have Ryan, the eating warrior. The fact that these women laugh at men's rational fear of divorce is everything you need to know about society. Why push marriage? Just a way to be faithful, and nobody has any right to each other's money. And then we have Bebe Le Duke and God Jamaican's Leavings. Let the Canadians speak, you greedy girls. Big Tiny, it would be worse for an average man because he would be left broke and possibly homeless. Also, seeing kids part-time.
What is this being broke and homeless as like an average guy when you get divorced?
Yeah.
Like, is she somehow like hiring like a New York?
She's reading somebody's chat.
No, I know.
The chats are obviously very degenerate.
But like, this is what they think. Like a guy earning $30,000 a year, then his fucking wife is gonna come after him.
Right, and then he's gonna be on the streets
for his fucking 2002 Toyota Corolla.
I mean, it could impact him. It could for sure to play devil's advocate. It could impact his life. It could possibly. I'm sure there have been some instances where homelessness occurred due to the fact that a savage divorce ended up happening.
Sure, but if the guy's that broke, the woman is probably super broke. And she's probably got to raise the kids.
Point. Okay.
And we have Baby Luke again. How competitive and self-centered. The high BC. Then we have Al. No matter what you earn as a man, you should still get a prenup. Pensions are also considered marital property, and women could take half of your retire for the rest of your life, even if she gets remarried. Jesus. And then the last few that just came in. Bean Cheeks, I don't pay for no fee pics. Stop it, Adam. Come on, Bean Cheeks. Then we said extra guac.
Telling us, buy one foot, get the other.
Did getting divorced not stress you financially? No, we were like 23.
I got divorced at 23 as well. It didn't stress me financially.
I think I dated so when I was in high school, I started dating a girl when I was 16, I think. And then when we wanted to go to college, in order to get financial aid, we had to get married because there's the FAFSA system in the United States is fucking dog shit. And then I think we broke up when I was like 20. But we broke up. We never actually went to the courthouse to finalize our divorce. And I think we actually filed the paperwork for divorce when I was 23. But it was just, we showed up at the courthouse.
Because you needed to over like a legal thing. You're like, oh, we need to actually just fucking get this done officially, right?
Yeah, because of like credit and all sorts of other shit.
Right,
but like, it was like, I think it cost like $300 to file the paperwork at the courthouse.
But what they're saying is that's not necessarily the average person.
That's
like
fine,
I was very lucky in that
somebody
instance as well with my divorce that I was not going to be malicious. He was not going to be malicious. But what they're saying is this can happen to people.
That's fine. But the person in the chat asked me personally. He said, weren't you stressed for your divorce? Okay. I wasn't. I was just going to the courthouse.
Got you.
Yeah.
Free. I'm just. It's a good deal.
Save that money. Then we have extra guac. Natalia, you can wink at MLD. Yeah, wishes. Then we have full wheat Todd. Divorce is actually worse than the average man. They end up living from their cars. The number of causes for exiting the earth for men over 40 is self-deleting.
Like, that's what they think. Average. The average guy is getting divorced and is homeless.
Like other ones, because I think I may have missed it. I think that's it.
The thing that bothers me the most about all this too is that like, and I don't want, like, one of the few times I will appeal to anecdote, being a single mom sucks. But if you watch these shows and you're programming your mind here, you would think single moms are rolling around in new cars, living in big houses they stole from their exes, new shoes and shit for their kids all the time, iPhone 17s all the time. Like, but being single moms suck. Everybody knows that.
The reality is it's a combination of in the middle for both parties. And that's
sure.
It's nuanced.
Alrighty, that will be it for Super Chats. Thank you all for the Super Chats. I will be putting all your names in the Wheel of Names, and I will be picking a winner for the end of the episode. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalia. And I think there's about 1,500 people watching live on YouTube right now. Thank you guys for being here.
I see I missed a few, but I'll read them at the end, so don't worry.
Read those at the end. Okay. So I want to get through 2 stories here, because we got about a half hour left, and then I want to spend some time doing the Wheel of Fortune and, of course, the happy ending at the end, so people win some free tickets to this. So I want to talk about some daddy issues. Okay? I don't know. I've had some father issues in my life, but I don't know if it's applicable to men. I don't know.
I don't know if you wear this, but I try to go... I try to go searching for data on like there's a stereotype that people that are in porn come from broken families, and apparently there's no data to support that at all. Like,
Really?
Yeah. Apparently it's just like the number of people in adult entertainment versus normal women versus have daddy issues, whatever. It's all like about the same. Like there isn't like this hugely skewed demographic.
I've never really looked in, I mean, there's definitely data that says that like single parent households ultimately cause more issues, but not that it's directly correlated to porn per se.
Yeah.
Can we say
porn? Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I wasn't aware of the stream rules here. When you upload it to YouTube, you just like cut out words you say and stuff.
August does or something, yeah.
Okay.
We talked about the Call Her Daddy podcast. That girl clearly has some daddy issues. But here's an article that I would like to highlight and have you, lovely women,
I need to watch some episodes of this.
Have you never seen it? You've never heard of
RedPill really hate that podcast.
Oh, really? They hate her? Yeah, I bet.
What do they talk about?
I mean, just literally normal cultural stuff. She has like different like rappers, different entertainers, sometimes people who are more like the political, like all different types of people, and she just asks some normal questions. I think they just...
That's wild because based on what I've heard, it sounds to me like the Call You Daddy podcast is a show where women go to get training to fucking destroy men in their lives.
No,
and every single episode is talking about how women should be trying to optimize for divorce, optimize for child support, fuck Chad.
She's literally the most casual woman in the world. Like, she's literally like so chill. Like, it's like literally the exact opposite to that. That's really funny.
I'm so curious. I kind of want to hear.
It's just an entertainment podcast. That's all. It's not a political piece or anything even close to the sorts.
Okay. I think it's been referenced on this show like 3 times, and I hear RedPillers talk about it all the time.
Well, she's one of the number 1 podcasts apart from Joe Rogan, so that's probably intimidating, especially since pair it with the name Call Her Daddy in the RedPill space. Of course, they're gonna be mad.
Okay, all right.
They pissed.
We'll listen to some episodes at some point, guys.
You let us know your actual opinions on this. And MLD will be the judge of you guys right now. I think I like that for right there. So here are the 6 signs.
God, look how fucking mad he is.
Of daddy issues. If we can pull this up real quick.
I'm gonna put up 6 fingers just so I can go down.
Yes. Okay. So before we do, how about this? Just go down the list here, if you would, in a sentence or less. Describe your relationship with your father.
Non-existent.
Non-existent. Sounds like a recipe for some daddy issues. I don't know. Angela.
I don't have a dad, but I have a father figure. I don't know if that counts. So.
Judge, does that count?
How long has he been with you?
Since I was like 14.
Okay. How old are you now?
28.
Judge authorized it. It counts. No daddy issues right there. Maylene, what's your relationship like with your father?
The best.
The
I love my
best.
dad so much. Yeah.
And he's aware that you do OnlyFans.
Yeah, he wears a shirt that says "Subscribe to my daughter's OnlyFans."
How much
I don't know about all that.
We were able to raise money with
Nice.
That's
Playboy
wild.
for his kidney transplant that he ended up not getting, but kidney care. So
This is a feeling I have. I have no data to support this, but I've seen this happen anecdotally over and over and over again. So I could be right, I could be wrong, but I feel like a lot of parents are scared about what their children are doing. I know this is true when it comes to like YouTube and entertainment and stuff, or art, but usually as soon as the first paycheck rolls in, the parents get a lot more like, okay.
Yeah, but that's very different. So there was a very big difference when I was sitting around a table with my ex's family saying like, no, he's not going to do real estate. We're going to pursue this media company. And then being like, no, that's a bad idea. Versus them now saying, oh no, this is great. Versus somebody who was like, I think I'm gonna do OnlyFans. I think I'm gonna start selling pussy pics.
Sure.
You know, it's like when that first paycheck comes around, depending on the relationship that person has with their family, or depending on whatever other moral or ethical values that they hold, that's gonna affect it a little bit differently.
Yeah, I agree that the porn thing is probably a bit of a harder sell depending on what you post, but I think a lot of parents are willing to look the other way if they see their child is starting
Depending
to
on how much money, right? Depending on how much they.
If you're making like $800 a month from it, they're probably not gonna.
Depends on how strong their values are, probably.
tits for kidneys.
Respect to your dad out there. Melina, what's your relationship like with your dad?
We're best friends.
Besties.
We're very good, yeah.
Yeah,
He's
he knows
always been
about
the
all
best.
your sexual escapades and all your nonsense. He's cool with it.
I don't think I do much sexual stuff online. I'm just talking.
Have you met Melina's dad?
But I mean,
Yeah, he stays over here sometimes.
Yeah.
He was just here, I think, a couple weeks ago, and yeah, we all go and hang out. He's a really, really cool guy, actually.
Nice.
He does like he's a police officer in Sweden, but they do training in other countries sometimes. So he's been living in Kurdistan, I think, for about a year, and then sometimes he comes to the U.S. with us. He's a really interesting, cool, funny guy. Yeah.
Nice.
Talk about some of the
yeah,
stuff.
I do, but all Swedes do. Like we're very.
Okay, so
we
Swedes
do.
are very
We're very like
out
that.
there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I grew up with like TV shows where they had sex and shit. It's like not a big deal. It's European. Yeah.
Welcome to Sweden. Lithuania.
I would say my father was very absent most of my life. We did rekindle recently, so it's very much like surface level conversations up to this point. But I did want to add, like, I hate like daddy issues because it's kind of like framed on the woman, like, oh, like she has daddy issues, when clearly there's a larger problem of absentee fathers.
I agree. I think it's incumbent on men to fucking raise their kids. Totally understand. Natalia, what's your relationship like with your father?
My relationship,
Kurdistan isn't a country, my dude. I found the triggered Iraqi person.
dad is great.
Well, if you know
details, my birth father, he did pass away when I was younger, and my mom remarried, and my relationship with both of my dads are phenomenal.
Well,
Love that.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
And I know your dad, and I think he's a great guy.
Great. I think
You know,
so
he
too.
got mad at me one time, but that's about something else.
We'll talk about that later, no?
Yeah,
That's why she sits so far away. I get it now.
Mud wrestle the hell out of this.
Yeah, you wish.
Anyway, let's go through. I want to get it from females' perspective.
All right, fingers
you know,
up.
you know how this is what MLD and I are going to do. You know how we were trying to tell you what men our concerns are, why we're maybe avoiding marriage, prenups, whatever, and all you girls are like,
Sorry, fuck, hold on. Turkish people hate Kurds more than Iraqi people. Yeah, but I don't believe there's an actual Kurdistan set up in fucking southeast Turkey, right? I don't know how much land the fucking PKK have in fucking Turkey. But in Iraq, there is a whole province to the north that I think people colloquially refer to Kurdistan, that's ran by the KRG, like colloquially speaking. I don't believe in Syria there is a Kurdistan either. No, I think Kurdish people dream of having like a united fucking Kurdistan between all Kurdish people. I don't even know if they all like each other. But like in Iraq, there is a huge section like that is called Kurdistan. That is, I'm pretty sure it's treated like as an autonomous territory almost at this point. Now, obviously, Iraqi people, well, I don't think they're the hugest fan of that, but it's like a Taiwan place right now. But southeast of Turkey is also part of Kurdistan. No, is it? I don't know whatever. It might be, but I feel like colloquially when people say like Kurdistan or that area, I'm pretty sure they're generally talking about place in Iraq. You don't have to run. It's okay.
Okay. Look.
Okay, good. Now that she's gone. I'm working on a piece, guys. What do you think about this? What the fuck? I'm Kurdish, and this is the first time I've heard Kurdistan being referenced on the internet. Oh my god. Good. When does Mr. Girl hit piece dripping retard? You know, good question. I need to ask. Somebody was supposed to do a final rewrite. I need to see where they're at on that. I've got a lot of shit going on in my life, okay? All right, ready?
Let's go.
Okay, good luck.
it's like, just listen to us.
Jesus.
Here's your guys' chance. We're maybe avoiding marriage, prenups, whatever, and all you girls are like, it's like, just listen to us. Here's your guys' chance to talk, and we're gonna listen, and MLD is gonna judge. All right? So here are the 6 signs of daddy issues. Can we pull up this article real quick? This is from a relationships website. Here's the 6 signs that she may have some daddy issues and what it means. So number 1 is that she doesn't trust male figures. We'll go with that. Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
She doesn't trust male figures.
Do you trust male figures? You're in my apartment,
yeah,
unaccompanied,
for
so you
sure.
obviously have some kind of
All
trust.
of the figures in my life have been male, pretty much.
Nice, good job.
Anyway, I'll go down the list. I can't really see so good. Number 1, she doesn't trust or open up to male figures. That's number 1. Nailene, thank you for counting to 6. We really love you.
You're welcome.
Number 2, she constantly seeks reassurance from male partners. So
I'm not afraid to piss people off, no.
That's an Australian thing, more than a woman.
Yeah.
But okay.
on one hand, she doesn't trust. On the other hand, she seeks reassurance. Number 3, she puts the relationship on a pedestal.
Nah, I'll tell him if you fucked up.
Okay, based.
Yep.
Okay. Number 4, her personal life mirrors childhood attachments.
Sometimes, but I'm very aware of it and working through it.
Doesn't your personal life generally always
Yeah,
mirror childhood
exactly.
attachments?
That's like everybody. Your
Like even if you have like a really good childhood, hopefully
literally
your
your
relationship really
brain
good too.
stops forming, like naturally forming new neural pathways when you hit 25. So everything up until that point was literally so it's a stupid question. It's
Kind of
dumb.
true.
Yeah.
Do you want to know a quick tip, quick fact, interesting thing?
Sure.
That 25 figure is actually not true. It's actually into your 30s.
Okay.
I just
It's
recently
into your
read about
30s?
that.
Really?
Yeah.
And I
Apparently-
know that you can still form them, but it's just much more difficult, right?
Apparently there was a guy that I could be wrong, but I think he was doing neuroplasticity research on adolescents and teenagers, and I think he stopped measuring up to like 18, and then he just assumed it probably ends at around 25.
Oh,
There's never
really?
actually been research on that yet. I read this like
What?
3 days ago, apparently.
No, you need to send me that because
Okay.
that's something I'm really, really interested in.
I think
but
that-
was there a disparity between men and female though?
I don't know. I think it's generally given that women, I think, are a couple years ahead of
yeah,
maturity.
yeah,
to men.
exactly. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
That's
but-
super interesting. Definitely send me that.
Yeah, somebody can find it. Yeah.
Nailene, you're doing a lot of nodding.
Yeah.
Brian is in YouTube chat. Oh, have you ever been on the Whatever podcast?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
I just started this whole thing.
Oh, gotcha. What's
internet, YouTube.
Those are the guys that are pro women beating.
Oh, I know. I watched your episode.
No, I'm just kidding.
No. Yeah, this guy was on there. I saw that thing. That was funny.
It was much different.
I mean, sometimes their stuff is good. I really like Brian. Is his name Brian, right?
Yep.
I feel like he's very level-headed sometimes. Like, he has his opinions, but he doesn't really demonize women. He doesn't really bring women down.
Okay.
In such a way. No?
There
Do you
go.
disagree?
I agree. Brian's a good guy. He was in chat. That's why I was bringing
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Brian's cool. What's up, Brian? Put me on whatever. I'm down.
Nice. Yep. You gonna fly to LA for it?
Maybe not, actually. I hate LA.
I feel like if I was a girl, you ever do that? Okay, I'm sorry, hold on. If I was a girl, I would just be the biggest fucking slut in the world. If I ever wanted to travel somewhere, couldn't you just buy Tinder Silver, geographically relocate to whatever place
What's
you want to
Tinder
travel?
Silver?
You can like upgrade it to like see where people, or it might not be called, I don't know what it's called, but you can like upgrade it, maybe it's platinum or something. You can upgrade it to see like where
So you
people
want to know
are.
a funny story? I've never had a dating app my entire life. And my last breakup before this one, so this is like 4 years ago, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to download Tinder. And I had this Hawaii number that I had just gotten because I disconnected from my ex-phone plan, blah, blah, blah. And I downloaded Tinder. And for the life of me, I couldn't change the name from Emily was somehow attached to my phone number to my name.
Okay.
And so I swiped with a couple of people, and then I needed to start the conversation. They're like, hey, Emily. I'm like, oh, my name's actually Amy. I'm sorry something happened. And it just started everything off super weird. So
Why not just go with Emily? Does it really fucking matter?
I mean, I didn't know at the time, so I just deleted it, and I've never been on any dating app since. So I have no idea. That's my only one experience I've ever had with a dating app. They wanted to call me Emily. I refused, and so...
Well, here's what I would do, okay? Take your dating app. You can geolocate it to other cities. Geolocate it to a city you want to travel to. Find a guy there. And then once you start flirting, say like, hey, we can hang out, if you know what I mean, but you have to fly me to that city.
Yeah. It sounds like a great idea for some girls.
True. And then you've got a free trip to any fucking city you want to go to.
Yeah.
Just by geolocating your Tinder.
I mean, if you're willing to swap pussy, which, I mean, that doesn't necessarily always sound like the best trade to me, personally.
I'd do it.
Because all of these are ding, ding, ding.
Okay, number 5, overly protective or jealous.
Yup.
Okay. Number 6, she has a complicated relationship with her dad.
Wait, I missed that last one. Are you hold on.
Okay, number 5, overly protective or jealous.
No, not at all. No, my ex had many female friendships, and I had many male relationships.
Relationships?
Like friendships, business partners. Relationships is a general term meaning friendships, family, business partners, acquaintances, people you need to interact with on a day-to-day basis. That's what I mean, relationships in a general sense.
Okay.
Okay. Number 6, she has a complicated relationship with her dad. Yeah.
Do you have a complicated relationship with your dad?
My dad died when I was like 4.
Thanks.
So.
Thanks for bringing down the fucking mood now.
Sorry,
okay.
guys.
Thanks a lot. This whole thing
it's
is
really
way darker.
It's really complicated.
Thanks. Jesus Christ.
Oh shit.
It used to be. Now.
Okay. So
Brian is asking what your ad is. She is.
On Instagram, it's Automate with Amy, but I'm Amy Dangerfield on TikTok and YouTube. Automate, like the word automation. Automate with Amy.
What other automate would there be?
I don't know. Well, when I say it, people are literally like AUNTOR. I'm like, no. Automation.
Okay. Automate with Amy.
And that's me.
Nice.
Are you never going to follow me back?
Well, I'll think about it, okay? Damn, Jesus. Okay. That's a lot of pressure, okay? What is the story behind this white outfit? I'm curious.
I wore this to an event maybe a year ago, and I never got any pictures in it, so.
Oh, what is this? Are you a singer?
No, I'm speaking.
What are you speaking about?
So my background is in the realm of fintech, so the financial market. So I work with like BDOS, big data as a service, as well as different financial products that are more so applicable to the cryptocurrency and foreign exchange market. So I do a lot of talks in that regard.
Jesus. Didn't you smoke a lot of weed?
Look, read the caption.
No, this isn't marijuana. It's long bottom leaf from Middle Earth, obviously. Wow.
Yeah.
Good one.
Duh. Duh.
Fintech. Nice. All right.
Yes, sir.
Back to this.
Back to this.
Do you know a guy online called the Saint and the Sinner?
The fucking technologist.
Okay.
Is that the guy?
Yeah.
I
was just curious.
Oh my! That debate you did with him when you kept playing piano was probably one of the top 10 funniest things I've seen in my life.
I was just curious because he works in fintech. Okay. All right, but you're biased.
Oh yeah, no, fuck that guy.
Okay.
Oh my
ready?
God.
Somebody said, "Oh no."
Oh no.
I recently. Okay. Never mind.
You're opening a deep pic. Okay.
What?
That was
it
a really deep caption on there. Yeah, you don't need to read it.
Well,
it's
now we
okay.
are going to read
It's
it. I recently deleted 95% of my IG posts because of me. They represent a season of deep insecurity. I would face-tune every single picture to perfection. My obsession with exercise and creating a perfect figure was deteriorating my mental health. Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
I was so focused on the superficial I was losing sight of what truly mattered. And then one day, I realized that I would look back on those images as an old lady and feel regret for wasting the best years of my life, consumed with the opinions of others, consumed with achieving an impossible standard of perfection, which blinded me to my real beauty, quirks, and imperfections that make me who I am. Wow. Flaws and sins wrapped in skin.
Yeah, it's a deep one.
True. I do think
I literally did delete like most of my Instagram posts that day when I posted.
Yeah, the amount of like Facetune and all that shit going on today.
Yeah,
is
it's crazy. I'm literally not a fan at all.
Doing this tomorrow night. Okay. The date info. Okay, ready?
Let's do it.
Again, I've often said, correct me if I'm wrong, a guy goes through trauma, I think it makes him tougher. I think that makes him more resilient. I think he can bounce back. He needs to go through some shit to become a man. I'm totally okay with a man dealing with some trauma and coming out back on the other side. Yeah. On the other hand, I don't want my woman in my life to have dealt with a ton of trauma. That's not ideal.
No.
I think what you would want as a woman, I'm gonna open up for you guys, what you would want from a woman is a man who has dealt with some shit, been through some shit, is better and stronger, and is just more amazing on the other side. I don't want my beautiful, young, whatever girlfriend who had dealt with a fucking ton of trauma. Okay, and then it's like, it's a whole nonsensical thing after that. So that's my opinion. So, Naleen, we'll start with you. When you're hearing these daddy issues, what resonated the most with you?
Well, first I have to say that you're talking about you don't want a woman that has trauma, but we don't know what the future holds, and we don't know if the relationship that you're married to a woman, right? What if some trauma happens within the relationship? You don't want a woman that's just gonna leave you and divorce you, right? So you want a woman that's had some trauma, that kind of has some depth within her, because then you know she's a ride or die for life, and she's not gonna be the girl.
This is just like a random thing. I'm so sorry. This is like a trauma and everything is a really well-studied phenomenon in psychology. There is absolutely no data anywhere to support the idea that trauma makes you a better person. Some people very rarely will come out better, but there is no research, no study.
Is that what she was just saying? Sorry.
No, there's a general idea in RedPill that if you're a guy and you go through trauma, it makes you better, but for women, it makes you worse off.
Well, okay, listen, I don't think it's necessarily that, but there is something to be said about having a life philosophy, right? And if you're someone who says that everything happens for a reason, if I'm someone who gets through this, is going to make me better, that's way more empowering than saying anything otherwise.
Sure,
and
that's
so
true.
Honestly,
It can be
I don't think it's on a scientific level.
It is on a scientific level.
No. I think that what they're saying isn't on a scientific level.
Then they're retarded, but they present themselves, because if you want to say that,
I
then
think
fine.
that they're saying that it's a more empowering mindset to have in life when you go through shit.
That's great, and it's empowering to imagine that you could get raped and come out the other side and feel okay about it. But that doesn't mean that that's the reality for people, right? It's empowering to think that you could lose a child and have two more and still be okay with it. Like it might be empowering to think that, but it's not reality.
But
it's empowering that some people survived Hiroshima and they came out and they had grandchildren and they lived happy lives. The city that got fucking nuked by the United States in World War II.
Oh.
Or Hiroshima, sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. But I'm just saying that, like, yeah, like that's fine that like you should be able to get through traumatic events and like feel good about yourself and all of that. Like that's cool. But the reality is that trauma incredibly negatively impacts everybody, men and women that go through it.
Yeah.
So much so that people will study that adverse childhood like traumatic events can have actual detrimental effects on your health, like high blood pressure, higher risk of stroke, higher risk of heart disease, et cetera. Yeah.
That's true, but I also feel like to a degree it is measurable so far as the people who actually went through trauma, who then went on to achieve a high level of success in their life. There has been quite a lot of people who literally use that as the fuel or the...
Yeah, but that quite a lot of people is like 1% of people.
Yeah, but we're also talking about the 1% in general when we're talking about the people who made it to the top.
Yeah,
so
but no. Why do we? No. Why do we do that? Why would we talk about? If you wanted to have a podcast and you wanted to call it "Exceptional People Through History," we could do that. These are not podcasts for exceptional people.
But they kind of are. That's the point. No. Valuetainment. Do you think that they're spewing all of this to just say, "Go live your average, regular, everyday life"?
The whole point of RedPill and the whole point of these spaces is to be advice for the average guy. That's the whole point of these spaces.
To help them elevate to get to the higher level. That is the point. It's not to say stay exactly where you are right now. It's let me help you, give you my hand to bring you up to where I am right now. So of course they're going to give advice that's in alignment with that versus where
I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying there's two ways that we can go in a conversation. We can either talk to general populations or we can talk about exceptional people. There is no both. Like, if you want to say that, like, there are some people in life that went through traumatic events that came out and are very interesting, very cool, very high achieving people, that's fine. But if you're talking to your general audience,
that's what they're saying. That's literally this is the point that he's making.
Do you want me to wait? Do you want to roll back and just listen to it?
Sir,
because I can tell you what he said. He said that men that go through trauma are better and women that go through trauma are worse. That's what he said.
That's what he said. Okay.
We can listen to it. Hold on. We can listen to it.
Okay. So again, I've often said, correct me if I'm wrong, a guy goes through trauma, I think it makes him tougher. I think that makes him more resilient. I think he can bounce back.
That's just wrong. That statement is factually incorrect. Men that go through trauma are more often than not worse off.
Okay, so let me define what I was saying. I disagree with this premise. What I agree with is that the people who are able to make it on the other side of that trauma, be it male, be it female, they are often able to supersede extreme circumstances in life that would usually crush somebody else, and oftentimes that is able to inevitably bring them to success way more than somebody. But I completely agree with
I agree with you. But that's not a controversial take. Here's the reality. If you break 100 people, 2 of them will bounce back and be exceptional. But the other 98's lives are fucked.
You think it's true?
Yeah, it's very rare.
Well, this is where I come in, Destiny. I believe this is why we need content like this, because unless there are people, not necessarily like this guy per se, but unless there are people who are really encouraging people to do that, then how are there going to be people who are able to break back through it? You know what I mean? You talk about not wanting to negatively influence your people into having these idealistic hopes and dreams and blah, 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 but ultimately, if you're
I'm sorry. Somebody typed a dumb message in chat.
Let's say you have 10,000 people, right? And I have 10,000 people, and you influence your 10,000 people to do better in their own lives. And out of mine, I influence maybe 3% of those to go above and beyond and do whatever. There's that 3% of people. That's not just going to benefit their life. That's going to impact their community. That's going to impact their family. That's going to impact so many other things.
How about instead of being delusional, how about instead we say, listen, instead of being like, guys, if you've gone through trauma, you're going to come out the other side being way better, and you should all strive to that. How about we say, hey, listen, a lot of people have traumatic stuff in their past that they haven't processed. A lot of it is probably weighing you down in ways you haven't realized, and you should spend some time like sifting through that and then like figuring out what your problems are.
I agree. I think there should be a combination between both of those messages.
Sure.
Because I think sometimes when people have been through trauma, they need to hear someone being harsh with them. Because oftentimes they haven't. They need to hear that hard, aggressive message because sometimes it's the only thing that breaks through.
I don't know if that's the case. I think most of the time.
Oftentimes, sometimes.
I think these people have had plenty of harsh people in their life. I don't think that people that are traumatized, unless you're some middle class girl that just has been snarfing fucking Prozac since she was 14. Like, generally, people that are suck shit in the United States, like, they know they suck shit. They know their lives suck. They know they're fucking up. Like, people that are going to work these like shit ass backbreaking jobs.
No one's ever been real and me.
You don't
like,
need to be told, bro. You don't need to be told when you're eating fucking Taco Bell $2 meals, okay, and you're fucking behind your house payment, and you're checking your cell phone every day to see if it got shut off or not. You don't need somebody to tell you, hey, you're fucking your life up right now. So
you're saying that there isn't anybody who's ever had a moment where there has been literally an emotional impacting moment where they have watched something or saw something or consumed something on social media, where they've done something every single day after day, and then they see something and they're like, damn, that fucking actually hits deep, and I may do something different as a result of that. That happens. That is a phenomenon.
It happens for like 2% of the people that listen.
Yeah, but sir, shouldn't we be encouraging the 2%? No.
Fuck the 2%, because who the fuck? Because those guys are probably gonna fucking make it anyway. If you're that driven that hearing some fucking dipshit on a YouTube channel like is what's empowering you to start your own business, you're probably gonna figure out some shit anyway. My guess. How about for the other 98% of people? What most people want is just a path to success. Like, give me a realistic option. The problem is that by the time your life is fucked up and you're 22, your life is over. You're out of school. You're never going back to college. You might have a fucking kid. You might be in a fucking shitty relationship, and all your friends have moved on. Your family can't really help you except to babysit sometime, and welcome to the rest of your life. Like, at that point, like, all the inspirational YouTube videos in the world aren't going to help you fucking achieve success.
I disagree, because I was literally like, I mean, and I can only speak personally, and again, I don't want to draw it back to personal experience, but there's been many people who are literally down and out at that age and literally have nothing ahead of them.
You keep saying many people. Most of them will be losers forever.
Okay, I guess for me,
2% will achieve. I understand. I came from that background. I was a carpet cleaner, and now I'm a successful streamer. But for every person like me that tried that, 1,000 of them failed.
Well, for me, I guess that's the difference between us, is I believe that there's no difference between me and the people who are watching me, who see me achieve that. I don't think that there's any fucking difference between me and them unless they were equipped with the right mindset and the proper skill sets and actual utility and steps of how to actually achieve that. Is it possible for everyone? No. But going back to what I guess you and Sneaker argue about, sometimes it's not possible for everyone, but it's possible for anyone.
But I want to talk to everyone. I want to help my whole audience.
But do you not agree that the belief at the beginning of an undertaking strongly determines whether or not you're actually going to succeed in it on a chemical level?
I I think that there's a lot that goes into it. It's not just the belief. It's
But
also prior training.
on a
neurochemical level, yeah, it helps a little bit. But there are a lot of people, bro, I've met, some of the saddest people I've met in my life have been grinders. Like people who are like hustle culture. Like I know people back from where I came from, in Omaha, who are grinders and hustle, and they try to fucking sell me on their GoFundMe projects to write like books and shit now. And they're like, and I'm not trying to shit on them. I'm sorry, but like they don't have the skill set. They don't have the life experience.
So
they don't have the education.
Develop it in something else.
Yeah, these guys they're in their 30s and 40s. They're past that development stage, right? I think that's the issue. You can't like tell these people to go grind and hustle and do it because they don't know what to do. It's like the equivalent of like the learn to code movement or whatever.
I get that what you're saying with like the older generation, but what I'm saying is especially with this new generation that's coming forward, and there's going to be a very different future in the next 10 years versus the last 10, 20. And so what I'm saying is giving people a little bit of positive encouragement that they can learn financial literacy, that they can actually take control of their own economy, that they can learn an industry-specific field that they can apply it to and actually potentially become financially free, if not financially literate. I think that's a good message to be spreading.
And I agree with you. Good messages are important, but at some point it feels like placating. Like
what's placating mean?
Like you're just saying something to make people feel good, to placate the masses. No, like here's something that I would bet money on, okay? I bet you 99%, okay? I bet you 99% of service workers that went into work and saw those fucking signs saying, "You are the real heroes, thank you." What they probably thought every single day they saw the sign was, if I'm the real hero, pay me more.
Yeah,
fuck you. I don't care about the fucking sign. I felt that way when I worked in the casino. My fucking manager came in like, "You guys are doing such a great job, blah, blah." Okay, pay me more then. What the fuck? I don't care about you telling me I'm doing a great job. I don't care. Give me more fucking money, right? For some people, you can tell them like, "Oh yeah, succeed. But what people need are realistic paths to success. Not like if you happen to buy the right crypto coin, you're going to be a fucking millionaire.
But crypto is just one of many different industries available. You know what I mean?
No. All of the average person that like tries to make it in e-commerce is probably making like.
E-commerce is one industry still available. Do you know how many opportunities like are opening
Most
up
people
with
in
Web3?
all of those things are losers. Most people that do forex trading are Oh shit, you're like in fintech. I'm not trying to shut on your whole industry. Okay?
You're fine.
Most people that do crypto are losers. Most people that trade on forex markets are losers.
90+% of people who trade forex lose. I completely understand that.
These are literally zero-sum markets. You're not even investing in like actual. You're like trading dollar for dollar.
But most people who go out and try to start a business or try to do anything else, any type of brick and mortar thing, are also going to fail and lose. And so there's equal opportunity of failing in these other things. Why would you not apply it to something that was actually going to give you multiple rewards if it did succeed? I was going to bring it up for fun.
It's not equal opportunity. People that start from wealthier backgrounds have more opportunity because they have more chances to fail. If you're poor, you get like 2 fuck-ups and then you're fucking kill yourself.
Okay.
Your life is over.
I'm not talking about rich people. I'm talking about people in general.
Sure. Poor people don't have the luxury of failure because they're trying to pay their bills every month. You don't have time to go and start a second business. You don't have time, or even you don't have the skill set. Like I'm trying to think of like I'll have like, no offense, but like I'll have people that message me and shit, or like, "Hey, like I work in this fucking job. Like I've been doing this for like 15 years. I want to learn how to like make websites." And it's like, bro, this ain't it. You're not gonna do it. This ain't gonna be it, Chief. I'm sorry. You're fucking 37, working at Wendy's for like 15 years, and you're doing okay. But like, that's to catch up at that point. I agree with you. There is an allure to the message of like, you can make it, you can do it, you can be it. But the issue that I have is that like, if you want that path to success, okay, not to be a fucking Benny boy simp, but I think Ben Shapiro gives 3 huge pieces of advice, okay? It's like graduate high school. Today would be really graduate college, get a fucking job, and don't have a kid before you're ready. Those are like the 3 most important things you can do.
There's something I disagree with about that.
Sure, but RedPillers constantly shit on going to college. It's like the #1 most guaranteed.
He said finish high school. That's what he said.
Well,
and you said that you equate that with graduating
high school,
college.
but today would probably be finish college.
Well, but listen, okay, so with the rise of AI and everything like that, we're going to need a lot more college graduated people to be able to help run that.
Today
but right now, there's a lot of useless degrees that are happening. Like, obviously, I want my lawyer, my doctor, any specialized field to be college educated, but a lot of people go to college because they feel like they need to go to college.
Because that's the clearest path to success.
And to get what? Well, how is it clear?
To get a paying job.
To get what is the paying job?
A job that earns $1 million a year, median higher wages, somebody with only a high school degree.
The paying job only comes when you get the piece of paper, and the piece of paper is what determines the type of job you're going to get. So if you get a piece of paper that's not going to make you very qualified to do many jobs, you're not going to get a fucking job.
Then don't go to school for fucking basket weaving.
Well, people do that, and that's the problem. Is people are saying, go to college, get a good job, go to college, get a good job. And so people are just going to fucking college. So listen,
there are some people that eat bad food. I'm not going to tell people to starve themselves because some people eat too much Captain Crunch, right? Yeah, there are going to be some people that go to college.
That makes sense to go to college if you have a specialized career that you want to pursue. But if your goal is to make money, one of the worst things you could do is go to college, in my personal opinion. If your
goal is to be in the top 5 to 1%, you should not go to college. I personally believe that.
Okay, 18-year-old kid graduates high school. What should he do instead, Miss Dangerfield?
Listen, I know from my personal experience, right?
I don't care about your personal experience. I'm a streamer.
Okay.
My personal experience is fucked too.
What was your question?
If they're not going to go to college after high school, Miss Dangerfield, what would you suggest they do? Is that your real last name? I asked you that. You said yes, right?
Yes,
okay.
Yeah, it's not made up.
Okay.
So if somebody is 18 and they want to decide what do I want to do for the rest of my life, this is the mindset that I would probably follow. If there is a specialized field that you want to go into, when I was 18, I thought I wanted to be a lawyer. So I did my associates in justice and legal studies because I thought I wanted to be a fucking lawyer, right?
Cool.
So I'd say if you have a talent or skill or something you want to pursue, go ahead and do that. If your goal in life is to make money, which maybe that shouldn't be your goal. If that is actually like your be all and end all, then maybe you should be assessing your motives and figuring out why that's your goal in the first place. But if that is realistically a goal that you want to pursue, I do not think that college is the best path to go ahead and do that. Because again...
Okay, here's a question I have for you.
Okay.
If we were to look up for the top 1% or top 5%, do you think they have more or less education on average than someone in the bottom 50%?
Yeah, I think probably more. But
don't all the wealthiest people try to send all their kids to the nicest schools?
The change, there's been more millionaires created in the last 5 years. If we have this conversation in 5 years from now, Destiny, we could potentially be looking at completely different data.
I'll bet you $5 on that. Okay.
In 5 years? Can we make it like 500 in 5 years?
We can bet $500.
Okay.
I bet that in 5 years, the majority of the top 1 to 5% are still going to be far more educated than the bottom 50%.
Okay, I mean, but we're seeing so many people who are not college educated, who are dropouts, who are this, who are that, who are going out and creating successful businesses.
Yeah, but you know we're seeing even more people without degrees that are losers. We're seeing tons of those people all over society.
Yeah, but the people who with degrees are also losers.
No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not.
Destiny, how many people actually?
They're not. Okay, somebody's getting killed in here. Okay.
I was trying to be louder than Destiny. Sorry. Instead of screaming that you're scaring me, I was just trying to be louder than you.
I think my neighbor's gonna think I'm killing somebody.
I'm sorry.
Okay. The majority of people with degrees are not losers.
Okay, but how many people do you think actually went out and got a degree and then didn't end up doing anything with it? I'm sure it's probably
like 1%, like 5%,
Okay.
5%,
1%,
5%. I'll say 5 to 10%.
1%.
I'll say 5%.
Look this shit up right now.
What do you want me to look? The median difference in earnings between somebody with a high school degree and a college degree is $1 million over a lifetime. It's about $20,000 a year. It's like $38,000 versus $56,000
There are so many people who go to college, get a degree, and then can't even get an entry-level job in something they're not even specialized in. Something that isn't even related to the field that they were looking into. This happens day in and day out.
That's
this
a
is
good
very
thing.
common.
College degrees are so powerful. Sometimes they can get you decent paying jobs in fields that you didn't even fucking study for.
Well, don't you feel like it's like this inflation of degrees where previously you needed a college degree and now you need to think now you need a bachelor.
Because society is becoming more and more specialized, you need more and more education. That's an argument for even more education.
Yeah, but there's people who are making way more money and doing way more things without any of that stuff. And
there are successful people that sell cocaine their whole lives and never get caught with the cops. Why would I talk to the exception?
Define the diversion of success. That is definitely no. That is what do you call it? A red herring?
No, you saying that some people got rich off of crypto.
No. Cocaine debate, not good. That is literally completely irrelevant because there are so many legal fields that you can go into where you are not putting yourself in jeopardy in the eyes of the law, where you're not doing anything immoral, where you're not harming anybody else, where you can actually make a decent living, not following that path. The cocaine thing was...
let's finish this, okay?
He needs to go through some shit.
Also, wait, just curious, how long are you planning on staying over here for? Or
however long you need me.
Okay, gotcha, all right.
I'm not in a rush.
To become a man. I'm totally okay with a man dealing with some trauma and coming out back on the other side. On the other hand, I don't want my woman in my life to have dealt with a ton of trauma. That's not ideal.
No.
I think what you would want as a woman, I'm gonna open up for you guys, what you would want from a woman is a man who has dealt with some shit, been through some shit, is better and stronger, and is just more amazing on the other.
So like that is not true. If you were searching for men, you're not looking for men that have been through trauma. That is not true. No. Those men are probably more likely to beat the shit out of you, impregnate you and leave you, or go to fucking jail.
I think what he's talking about is more so along the lines of like what Jordan Peterson talks about, right? Where he's saying that if you're somebody who is not capable of inflicting any harm whatsoever, you haven't been through shit in life, then you being a good person is not virtuous in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Versus somebody who has been through shit, who's able to get that under control, naturally that's way more respectable.
I agree.
I feel like that's what he's saying.
But to pick that out is going to be really fucking hard because you don't know who's going to end up being
that's why you date and really get to know people and ask them questions.
Yeah, but if you wanted to pick a pool of people to date from, it'd probably be the people without the trauma, not the ones with trauma, hoping that you got one of the golden nuggets.
Okay, good point.
Other side. I don't want my beautiful young whatever girlfriend who had dealt with a fucking ton of trauma. Okay, and then it's like it's a whole nonsensical thing after that. So that's my opinion. So, Naylene, we'll start with you. When you're hearing these daddy issues, what resonated the most with you?
Well, first I have to say that you're talking about you don't want a woman that has trauma, but we don't know what the future holds, and we don't know if the relationship that you're married to a woman, right? What if some trauma happens within the relationship? You don't want a woman that's just gonna leave you and divorce you, right? So you want a woman that's had some trauma, that kind of has some depth within her, because then you know she's a ride or die for life, and she's not gonna be the girl to leave you and want to divorce you at the side of trauma. So you do want a girl that has gone through some things, that has gone through some trauma, sorry, my Cuban accent, but you want a woman that has gone through some trauma and has also come out resilient, because at the end of the day, it's gonna be a reflection of you and your relationship and what you guys may go through. That's what I think.
Okay, I actually appreciate that. But back to the daddy issues thing here. You were doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What resonated the most with you? And keep in mind, there's gonna be men watching that'll be like, all right, cool, I just want to understand women better.
Yeah.
So spit some game to the men out there.
So I think, number one, I put down all my fingers with all of those, because growing up, my relationship wasn't that great with my father, but in time, as I grew up, now we're amazing. But
Milkers! Hi, we're gonna way through this.
Slow at watching this video.
Yeah, it's...
Hi, so nice to meet you. Yeah, you too.
I love your videos.
Oh, thank you. I already like the Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah, I love Lord of the Rings. Yeah, all the
Really?
all the nerdy stuff.
If you really like Lord of the Rings, then Nick, name 6 of the Valors.
The Valas?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've watched all the movies though. I'm super into them.
Okay, I don't know. Anymore.
I read The Hobbit, the one before as well.
Okay.
Which wizard is not in the Lord of the Rings, the first one?
Dumbledore.
Wait, what do you mean Dumbledore? Dumbledore's Harry Potter. What are you talking about?
He's not in the first one.
Movie.
Yeah, Dumbledore.
It's not the same actor.
Who's in the book?
It's not the same actor. And
I didn't say
Dumbledore-
it's, I'm just saying Dumbledore the wizard is not in...
Who's in the book?
Who's in the book?
Who's in the book that's not in the movie?
Sauron. Or Saruman.
Saruman's in the movie. What? He's a dog. He's the
I
evil
don't
one.
know. I
What
don't
are you
care about
talking
these fucking movies. I have no idea.
Why'd you ask me a question when you don't even know the answers
Because I'm
to
just
them?
gatekeeping you for no reason. Because I hate women.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you're just trying to call me
I
out.
didn't know that she was on Fresh and Fit, and she was like full on RedPill.
Which
back in
one?
day.
The
She
middle one?
was, yeah, the Angela.
Okay.
This was the... I thought this was really cute.
She apologized to me. I was like, what the fuck are you apologizing for? She was like super, super, super nice.
Yeah,
I
she
liked
sent
her.
me this email.
She's also really smart. Like, she's super chill. Yeah.
Yeah, she apologized for how aggressive and blah, blah, blah. I thought it was really cute.
Yeah, she's really nice.
That's nice.
Okay.
And she
And she's also really aggressive too on the show too. All
Yes.
3 of you guys were. So, okay.
Do you know the ending?
You were killing it.
No,
You
we're
did good.
working on
Oh,
it.
it's fucking good. Okay.
Okay, we're going.
It's good.
Don't spoil.
You're so slow.
Not as slow as your mom. All right.
I did go through a lot of trials and errors with my dad. So I would think that the number one thing that resonated with me is the attachment style. Like for me, it's kind of hard to be alone, and I always feel like I need reassurance from a man, which is, it sucks, but I guess it's just like my submissive tendencies. Like I like to be reassured and told I'm doing a good job. Maybe that's a daddy issue thing, but
I think that's just normal. You want validation from your partner in a relationship.
yeah, it's very
I
important
like
for
when,
me.
if I put on a suit and she's like, you look very nice, or if she
Yeah.
gets done up, or, her hair done. If you get your hair done, you come home, your man doesn't say shit, you're like,
I've gone through that a lot though. I've gone through that a lot though, where I have gotten dressed and I've done my makeup and I come downstairs and it's been like maybe a couple days that I didn't get to do that because I've been with the kids. And I come down and I feel like I look so nice and my partner never even says like, wow, you look so pretty or you look great, you smell good, nothing. It takes 2 seconds to give someone a compliment. And for me, like that's what fuels my fire because I give that to others, so I just want it in return.
Yeah. Food, water, shelter, clothing, appreciation.
Sex.
And sex. But appreciation is paramount to
Mary-
anybody's
Mary
life.
Kay said that.
By the way, everyone just appreciate what a lovely outfit MLD is wearing today. Someone pay a compliment to MLD? Anyone?
We did tell you in the beginning of the podcast you look nice.
Yeah, all right, back to the daddy issues. By the way, real quick shout out. You know who I appreciate? Natalia Del Valle. There she is. She's over there.
She's your
Sassy as hell
daddy.
today. Sassy as hell. But you know I appreciate her. Right, Nat?
Right. Right.
Mud wrestle the hell out of this girl. Anyway, Tessa, you look lovely today, by the way.
Thank
Your
you.
attitude is on
Good
point.
job, son.
Yes.
I'm proud.
I'm out here.
Is this a style thing? I'm not very stylish. Why does she still have the tag on her shoe?
I have
Is it like when
I'm
people
not
leave the
stylish
tags
at all.
on
I
there?
have no idea. I do not dress myself. I have no clue.
Okay. What should men understand about daddy issues? When you were reading this list, you said that you have a non-existent relationship with your dad.
Yeah,
What does that do, and what does that bring to a relationship?
I haven't had a relationship with my real father since I was about 13.
It's an exclusive shoe. It's a style. It's off-white. It's the zip tie. It's a style. Okay.
So it's funny. Well, it's not funny, but it's funny because people always say to me like, "Oh, you should have so many issues," and they're like, "You're so normal for somebody that like doesn't have their real father in their life." And I'm like, "What does that mean?" Like, I just think I am what I am. But like going through that list of like, I trust men. I don't not trust men unless they give me a reason to not trust them. But same with like the validation. Of course, everybody loves validation. So for me to like be validated by the guy that I'm with, I think that's something that's not a sign of daddy issues. That's a sign of like you're actually into your partner because you want to know that they're into you and you're into them. So I don't know. I think it's like, yeah, you can say these things, but these things can be general to somebody who has a perfect father in their life who's never had issues. But then these can also be somebody who has no father. So I don't think it's like very specific.
I think it's a constant reassurance. Like, because
Oh, like all the time.
Yeah, because there's dudes that have that too. There's dudes. I mean, the dude you're dating, that guy has fucking mommy issues too. Like, there's
For sure,
a
and I'm a
whole
mommy,
other
so-
counterculture to that.
Yeah.
Okay, Angela, you said that you were raised by a father figure since you're 14.
Yes.
Any of these daddy issues resonate with you?
they don't necessarily resonate with me, but I could understand like those are definitely red flags. But I would like to touch on, I think it's important for people to recognize like we should start focusing on building each other, and if that's an unpopular opinion, but I think that people have this idea that you just want to give people that are perfect, and those who want that aren't even perfect themselves. And I think like the most valuable relationships are the one that actually grow from within each other. There are certain trauma bonding or broken parts with each other that we could definitely complement and grow from, and I think I did that even with my own partner. So I think that people nowadays look at this whole online stuff, they want girls who are perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. So those are certain red flags, but they themselves understand like we are also looking for a
This girl spitting facts whole show. Okay.
father figure in our partner. You know, like when you get married,
who
who's
Mel
walking
was
us down the
talking
aisle?
about?
Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to give you the responsibility. And when I say that, people generally don't like hearing that because they find this idea of like, oh, that's weird. We don't want to be your father, but like you want us to be somewhat mothering, nurturing for your child, or even parts of a man when he's down bad. And I would say that's important to have it in a partner. That's what makes her a wife or the main person that you spend the rest of your life with. And you can't get that out of her if you're not going to nurture that broken side of her.
Well said, Melina.
I think all of us go through something when we're kids, and it doesn't necessarily have to be from your father and mother. It could be a teacher that was really abusive or something like that towards you. It could be literally anything in your past. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the case. And when you're having problems when you grow up, especially in relationships, it doesn't necessarily have to come from your parents either, that they were bad to you or anything like that, or you were missing someone. And I would also say that I don't think that men can just go, like all men are just going through and they're perfect and they're going through and we can't. I don't know if you specifically said that, but you said that you didn't want to have someone that goes with trauma. I think everyone does to some sort of degree, and it kind of forms us as who we are. And I think honestly, my hot take here is I think women can deal with that a lot better most of the times than men can, because men suppress their feelings a lot more, and women are a lot more allowed to explore them and go through them and figure them out. That's my hot take about that.
Thank you for your perspective. I think you did a great job on that, Melina, and I appreciate you. Guste, bring us home now, girl.
I'd say in terms of daddy issues, the one thing that I noticed in myself was like male validation. So since I didn't get a lot of attention from my dad, I needed that masculine attention from somewhere else, so I would seek it often. I don't think necessarily that's like relevant nowadays, but I did notice that like in my past. And in regards to the trauma thing, going off what she said, everyone's going to go through trauma. I think what really matters is how that person has healed, and if they're willing to like listen to, you know, hey, like you need to work on this and this, and like being willing to work on that. But you know, not everyone's perfect, and everyone's going to deal with some sort of baggage.
Well said. MLD, last take.
I don't want a traumatized woman in my life. I don't want any history of trauma. I've dealt with those kind of fucking nutbags, and I don't ever want to deal with it ever again. I want to deal with a normal, mentally stable, healthy woman. So
You think you're normal?
Exactly.
In what sense?
Well, do you think you have healthy habits?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Weren't you the same one like fat shame me like last week or so?
I don't
You
know.
think that's normal from a stranger to fat shame somebody?
I don't remember. Did I call you fat?
Don't do that. Don't do that. You know what you were in the chat. You knew you were in the chat. Don't.
Oh, called out. He was a chatter.
Don't do that on camera.
I don't know.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
MLD.
And Nat is calling him out.
Let's go.
You were in the chat with your checkmark name doing that.
What was I
own
saying?
up. Listen, it's okay if you want to.
Why wouldn't you just own it?
Own it,
Like,
yeah.
just say, like, yeah, I think you're a fat bitch. Boom. And then own it. Why would you say, like,
Oh, that was me? I don't know. Did I do that? I don't know. Did I
do
that?
those things, but own up to what you do.
What was I saying?
I mean, women are apparently
Oh, my God. I hate this guy so much.
like CEO of not taking accountability, but I mean, I guess you should change your pronouns because I'd say you're.
She's such a cunt. I love this fucking woman over here. She's she's just fucking firing shots all around.
Let's go.
Kind of in the same bracket when it comes to that.
All right, I'll get right on that.
And that's not masculine energy.
Just
masculine
saying.
energy
High
owns
value
up
men. Remember, I told you
to
that.
what
Don't call
they
people
say.
horse either.
I'm just saying.
That's true. She said it because this guy, I think, called Farah, one of my friends, he called her a hoe on the show for no reason. And Melina said, that's not very masculine. Don't do that.
I mean, women can't handle criticism. I took that like a champ. That's fine. I'll take that. But I think you yourself as a man should probably work on that instead of saying that I don't want to traumatize women, because it definitely shows that
I don't want to traumatize women.
We don't want to traumatize men either. That's the thing. So
Okay.
that's why it's easier to go to Japan and find the konnichiwa type of girl, because they're not going to debate with you.
The passport bro call out.
That's right. They're just robotic female slaves in Japan. They have no personalities.
It
They just say
shows.
konnichiwa.
Yeah, so me saying all that shit that you like, it's evident that you're used to women who don't check you when you're being irrational
Thanks.
and way out of place.
Thanks for the whole synopsis on the 37 years of my
It
life.
shows.
You've,
Well,
you've
age
arrived
really
here
doesn't
in
mean
an
to a
hour
lot
and
of
half.
people. It shows. Like, you could be, my grandma's 80 years old and still drives like shit. That doesn't matter how old you are. So I would have to say, you sound like somebody who really looks down on women with the way that, I mean, you even made a whole hit piece on that. I think that's weird.
I didn't make a hit piece on her.
This guy, you should really change your pronouns, because I could see that's not your best trait to actually own up to what you do. And I think that's really disgusting. Why don't
That was a sick burn.
Oh my God.
Just sit in your masculine energy and maybe just apologize for what you said. I think that's very masculine. I think that's a great way, because I feel like, number one, in a war, everyone thinks they're right?
Yes.
So I think that right now is a great
Holy shit.
opportunity.
He's like smoldering over there.
Literally.
For you to show that men can be masculine and have feelings and can also regress and think back about what they said. Maybe in the moment you said it because you got excited or whatever, and you were just in this phase of yours. But I think sitting here in front of her, you're talking about that you want this wife and this submissive person and all of this, but where's your respect towards women?
Yes.
And don't you run like an entire
apologize
male
to her.
empowerment thing? Like, I think that's important that people look up to you. And you know what's funny? I actually subscribed to you prior to you doing that. And I thought that was so out of pocket. And I was like, wow, like people like you, respectfully to anyone that's listening, this is why I stepped out of the red pill space, because you guys are so quick to demonize women in the West. But mind you, all of
This is real quick. Her experience is one I've heard from conservative women a lot too. That conservative women, they get involved in conservative spaces and they grow to hate conservative men.
Well, I mean,
Because-
red pill and tradcon are a little bit different,
No,
right?
I agree with you that they're different, but in almost all of these male-dominated spaces, the men are fucking trash.
Even in the tradcon, not
yes,
even talking about
yes,
red pill.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Even in the
Really?
tradcon space, the men are fucking trash.
Okay.
They more
but
often
isn't
than
that
not,
by
they're-
definition the exact opposite of like they're meant to be these?
Yeah, I know they're meant to, but here more often than not, what happens? And I'm ragging on men right now, but women probably do it too in their own spaces. Anytime you've got a space dedicated to a bunch of people that get together and they all come in a giant circle on some picture of fucking Lindsay Lohan crying about how evil all women are, you're probably going to be a bunch of over entitled man babies that don't amount to shit. 99% of the time, that's the type of people that inhabit these spaces.
I mean, that's still red pill versus tradcon. That's very
I'm saying it happens in
different.
tradcon spaces and it happens in red pill
But
spaces.
No,
Here's the thing. If you're, you know, all the tradcon guys that are like, oh, like I'm tradcon and there are no traditional women left, blah 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 blah. None of those are tradcon guys. If you're a traditional conservative guy that has strong values, you own a business, you've got a good job, you've got good values, you've got your life together, and you're a stable person, you have no problem getting a traditional conservative woman. You will never have problems finding them because the amount of those men that exist are so fucking rare.
And that's why I feel like there's a lot of people who've been gravitating to this red pill space because I feel like it's become like a popularized like modern solution for tradcon, right? That's meant to be more adapted to the current culture.
Sure, but
and the
even these
landscape and
guys
blah, blah, blah.
are usually like garbage as well. Like all of these guys are creepy, weird, rapey,
Not
whatever.
all
fucking,
of
like,
them. I mean,
the
this
red pill
guy's,
spaces.
this guy's a horrible representation. This guy, I literally disliked every single thing that's come out of his mouth.
Sure.
But I don't think you can say that it's a net negative for all red pill guys. Like the sneakers, fresh and fit, all of those people out. Like they're.
I mean, Sneeko's abandoned the red pill space, so he's not even part of it anymore.
I mean, he's okay. Whatever. So like Jordan Peterson is still meant to be like the.
I don't know if he's even. I don't think Jordan Peterson would co-sign one-ended open relationships.
Okay, yeah, but that's just one facet of the red pill. Again, the red pill.
I
is
don't
more
think Jordan Peterson would agree that you should fuck 50 women by the time you're 30.
Again, this is what I was saying, that people take a fucking an inch and then they take a mile.
Sure.
It's like that's not what it was ever meant to denote, and I think people use that as an excuse to justify whatever outcome it is that they're wanting or they're preaching.
I'm just saying that a lot of these spaces have a lot of fucked things with the men here. They're not.
these girls have been working since we were old enough to work. A lot of us have to retire our families. But instead of people seeing that, you guys demonize women for masculine traits when we're also working just like you. And I don't expect respect, but like there was no beef and it was so unnecessary. And I think that's accountability that some people should take, but to each their own.
Yes.
Just saying.
So what are you upset that I called you fat?
This is upset. This is upset.
Clearly.
This is
I also hate that, like, and it's funny because, like, I see, because I remember it's because I've got a 12-year-old son and I know what it looks like when like a little kid gets caught, and they're like,
oh,
yeah, like,
yeah.
Nathan, did you wash your hands?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, and you know, like, bro, like, yeah,
Yeah, I have
kids
a
are.
13-year-old little brother, so.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Little kid, it's probably true for boys and girls, but little boys, they're so bad at hiding when they've done something
When
wrong.
they fucked
You know,
up.
have you seen the videos where you go in and there's like two dogs and it's like, who ruined the thing? And one of the dogs is like,
yeah, looking
like
around,
kids
yeah.
are the exact same. Where you go in and you're like, hey, I noticed something's broken in the kitchen. And they're gonna be like, what?
Yeah.
What happened?
What?
I thought I heard somebody come in earlier. And it's like, somebody
Right.
broke into the house? You think I'm a fucking retard? Like,
Right.
Yeah, but it's like, he's like the same thing. Like, what did
Yeah.
I say? I called you fat?
What?
I don't remember,
What are you
right?
talking
It's like
about?
that
Just
same type of
ultimate,
like
deflection,
yeah.
like,
It's
yeah.
so passive.
I
and it's
see
so
that for
funny
sure.
to analyze, like, from like the top bottom energy here. To borrow from an old friend, like, she's so
Right.
dominant in this conversation, and he's so like, I don't remember
What
saying
are you
anything. Like, I didn't make that video. Like, oh my god, sorry, but.
addressing.
Well,
I
why
think
don't
it's
you want to
important
own up to what you said, though? Why are you denying
And if anything, we're kind of built the same, which is funny, dude. We're like, I mean, come on, man. You can't be sitting there acting like,
Oh no! One of his 4 pillars is getting fit, and now she's calling him out.
we're like, oh, and I'm like, dude, honestly, that's so out of pocket in so many ways.
So how about this? This came out of left field, but I don't know. I'm like tuned in right now. Like, I didn't know this was happening.
And Adam, I'm gonna call Adam out a little bit here. Adam is cucking content right now to cover for, I think, a friend, because Adam should have let that interaction play out. There's no reason we're stepping here because.
Oh really?
Yeah, because this is like so. This is about to be some. This is about to be some.
That's why.
Sure, I know. This is about to be some wild content, and now Adam is stepping in to cover for his friend because he knows his friend is getting cooked alive over here. Okay.
On my show,
let
but here
him
we go.
own up to what was
Here we go.
said and let him clear the
So,
room.
all
If we
good.
misinterpreted,
Ladies, hold on.
if we didn't
All right.
understand, let him clear the air.
Guys, let me just host the show for a second. You're upset because why?
I think that, listen, criticism, sure, but be real and own up to whatever mistake you make. Because again, you are leading whatever group
What
you
did
are.
I say? What is so upsetting? I don't get it. Why didn't you talk to me?
You don't know what you do. You do all this content and you comment all these things, but you don't remember what you do. But you have all the comments to be made.
No, it's okay. I'll just endure this like I should in an abusive relationship.
Those are all the clips that went viral. Like, oh my god! Oh my god!
You should just endure. Just endure.
Jesus.
Endure.
Christ. Did she write a script for this?
She's on.
Okay, so MLD, what?
He has nothing to say.
What do you recall of this?
I'm still waiting for that. Like, I don't get it. What was said that made you so upset?
This is the problem. So if we reverse the roles, if a woman addressed this, you're being emotional.
Not gonna answer the question.
There is nothing. I've
Why
said
don't
it like
you
5
answer the
times.
question?
I'm asking the question. Well, why are you so mad?
This is
She's
mad.
already said it.
Because
He's literally
He
like
is a
bright
fucking
red like
tomato.
a fucking tomato.
This is like you get caught doing some fuck shit in a relationship, and your girlfriend or your boyfriend is like, "So
like,
who were you talking to yesterday?" And you're
No
like,
one.
"Well, what do you mean?"
You're having like a physiological reaction all over your fucking
I'm like, well, what do you mean? Who was I talking to? It's like, I heard some shit. It's like, well, who did you hear it from? Like, who did you hear that I spoke to? Like, what do you mean? I was at French yesterday. Like, oh my god. All right, hold on. Captain Tomato.
Captain Tomato for real.
You saying that he called you fat and you were
He wasn't
dressing.
that red a minute ago.
Oh no, he was not.
For it, like, oh my bad, I was
Because
probably just
he's
slurring
talking
on
about
Hennessy.
women that they have to do X, Y, and Z, and all this what they have to do, and you shouldn't, treat women badly because they have to submit to you. And in Tokyo or whatever, they're so feminine and this and that. But it's here you
These are the Western women that these guys are trying to avoid. You see what's going on here?
come here, and when there's women are making valid points, and there are respectable women, you come in the chat and you fat shame, or you go and make pieces about people, or whatever it is that you want to do. At the end of the day, all that's being said is that, listen, if you're gonna do those things, own up to it and then make your point about it. If you're gonna do these things and you're not gonna own up to it, and then what's the point? You're just what, bullying people?
Are you planning it at normal speed?
This is normal speed. No, I turned it on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no integrity in what you stand on. Like, nowadays, like, you're running a space where men stand on principles and honor, but like, you see someone's face and you completely dismiss the fact that was disgusting. Like, disgusting. We're not in a Call of Duty lobby. Like, I don't know you. It wasn't like I've said something to you. I said anything to you. I've stepped out of the combative space of the red pill stuff because of guys like you.
Oh!
You prove my.
And this is true. I believe it. However, you'll see after a year or two. Okay, you'll believe this. You spend enough time in these spaces, and you'll come out hating every guy in the space every single fucking time. It will always happen.
It's like, I don't know you. You don't have to do that, and that's fine. It's fine if I said, like, you're not my preference. I've never attacked you before.
I don't generalize like that though. Like, there's people like, I hate the blue pill, but I love your content.
Sure.
I feel like it's different for everybody.
Hey,
you
listen.
can't make generalizations like that.
You absolutely can. But if you stay in like blue pill content enough, these guys are all fucking. Everybody online is a rapist. Okay, just all men are trash. Okay, but like, and women suck too. But
waiting for what made you upset.
It's okay. Right now, we're
what? Oh.
gonna call you the delusional girl.
All right, how about I just?
And we can just stick
you want
to
to just
that.
leave because this is retarded.
No, I will.
He's so triggered. He gets a modicum of pushback, and he's this fucking man. I'm gonna fucking leave.
You're upset
Why
because.
would you leave? You literally are. You're an example
Can
for
somebody
men.
tell me what I
You're an
said that everybody's so
example for
upset
men.
about that I'm
That's
still
you
waiting
make
on?
content
What was the
for it.
example?
Why?
I'm just
What
look
do
at
you-
the faces.
What?
Look at this. Look at the color. How many shades off here is this guy's fucking face? He's like, this is how red he is. This is Melina's face. Wait, fuck. Where's my paint bucket? Holy shit. Melina's like the other darkest person here.
It's
What are we
because I'm
doing?
tanned, okay?
Oh, you're gonna
Getting
fucking
cancer,
record me
that's why.
without my consent?
Yep.
Jesus, he's like, oh my god. This guy's like 2 insults away from having the N-word pass. Like, holy shit. He's like,
Well, then, just
Okay,
to be clear.
I'll do the 3. Was it 3? Nah, I'm pretty sure it was. Is this chick supposed to be attractive? 1. 2, she's 40 pounds too heavy.
oh, and she's got the exact quotes.
XYZ, something about weight. I wouldn't listen to her. Like, you just went on a rant. It was like.
How do you know that was him, though?
Because it was his name with the check mark in the
Do
chat.
you recall doing that?
I guess so.
I guess so. It's like Nathan getting caught doing
Yes,
something
it is,
wrong.
exactly.
It's like a little boy. It's like a little kid.
Look at his ears. It's literally like red as the devil's dick right now.
Oh my god. Come on.
So you're mad. You're mad because I said you're 40 pounds overweight. I'm on every chat. I'm in Fresh and Fit. You know how it is when you're a streamer. You're in all these chats. I did like 6 shows in the last 6 days.
So yeah, so have I. I've done more brutal schedules than that. I've never been into chats calling people fat.
Fat bitches.
Yeah.
Like.
Or if I am in their chat talking shit, I'm gonna talk shit on the program too. Like the thing is too, this guy would have looked so much better. And this is like, now I'm gonna make a character attack instead of just saying that you shouldn't insult people. He's actually weak. Because he could have just said, yeah, I think you're fat and overweight. I'm not into that and I will make fun of you for it because I think we should make fun of fat people. He could have just said that and owned it.
But him just like playing it back.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like, what did I say? I don't remember what I said. Yeah, just say she's a fat bitch. Say she's way.
Or you're like Pearl, yeah, whales, whales.
Yeah,
fucking whales, bro.
It's like kindergarten stuff. It's like whenever you're like, oh yeah, but Tommy, you actually did hit Johnny.
And that's funny because you know who would be one of the more masculine people in these spaces? It would be fucking Pearl. Yeah. Because if Pearl was here, Pearl would say,
yeah, you're a fucking whale, bro.
You're a whale, and I
whales here, whales there, whales
yeah,
everywhere.
she would say that. Pearl would actually say that 100%.
Just say sorry. So just own up to being a piece of shit.
No. So I'm not. So first of all, I'm not a piece of shit.
You don't
so
think
don't
that's
talk to
piece
me
of
like
shit
that.
behavior?
Okay, don't talk to me like that. All right. Second,
I like to try to reclaim the masculinity. Don't talk to me like that.
All right. I said what I said. I do think maybe you were 40 pounds.
Now I said what I said. Now he wants to own it after he gets called out on it, after the receipts are brought out, after he spent like 10 minutes being like, I don't know what I said. I don't know what it was. I don't remember. What did I say? What did I say? I did say what I said, okay?
Pounds overweight.
Sure.
So what's wrong with that?
We can match each other's energy. All I had to say was you need to like own up to your shit because it's weird that you would face me. Yeah, after like pulling teeth. Are you good?
No, after you talking over me and freaking trauma dumping
Did I say
live on
that?
the
Trauma dumping? Who's trauma dumping?
show.
And the funny thing was at the beginning of the show, this guy was like, yeah, I've had like 4 women trauma dump on me. Is this what he means? That like
you
I don't
pick
know what
these
you always
words and like you throw them on people. But if I acted the way you act, you would demonize me. If I literally attacked you the way you attacked me, if I said the things that's disrespectful. If another man said the shit that you said to me, oh, that's fighting words. But yet a woman says it to you, oh, she's being dramatic, she's masculine, she's emotional. But
I didn't call you any of those
where's
things.
the vein coming out of my neck that I'm so triggered right now that, oh, she's mad? I think it's disgusting that you act the way. It's so like unattractive and not manly, but yet you sit here and shame women. Oh, I can't wait to go back to Japan. I just think there again, you're leading a bunch of cows to follow you and you're like, yeah, this is how men should act. That's not how men in my family and in my life act. And it's so unattractive that you think that's normal. So you are part of the problem in the West is what I'm basically saying.
Okay.
oh! And the thing is, she's conducted herself like so well in the show. She hasn't got like she is exuding the most masculine energy. She's been very fact of the matter, very straightforward in everything. Hasn't been emotional, hasn't cried, hasn't done. She's just been boom, 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 boom. And she like the thing too that's like so awkward here is she really did. She just dressed him down like a mom. Like
yes,
you're out of pocket.
Yep.
You're misbehaving.
Oh, yeah.
I want you to own up to what you've done.
Yeah.
Real men don't act like this. Okay, you need to take responsibility and stop being part of the problem. Like she just completely mom moded him.
Literally.
So let's try to put a silver lining on this thing. This came out. How should he have acted, in your opinion?
We walked in the green room. All you had to do was say, hey, no hard feelings. I was just on the little juice a little bit. I was tripping. My bad. I would have been like, all right, bro. Like, all fair is word. That's fine. I would have dropped it. But the fact that you walk in the room, you don't address it, you sit here, it's like awkward. And I'm like, this is how, again, people like you want women to submit to this garbage nonsense. And then you're, well, women are not submissive. Why would I submit to that type of activity?
Right.
Oh my God.
Facts.
And then she like wraps up like the whole everything on.
Facts.
She's just perfect.
As he's like he's like the exemplary fucking shining star of why men in the West
Which
feel
is
like they
the
need to
problem.
run.
This is why it's a problem where red pill platforms platform these types of people because it becomes the embodiment or the prototype of what the red pill is meant to be. When realistically, it shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be. These just end up becoming the caricatures and the mascots for it. Unfortunately,
this is why, despite my problems with maybe how he conducts himself, and I disagree with almost everything he says, at least Myron is really upfront with everything. If he hates a woman, he says she's a bitch. He'll say it to her face. He's not gonna fucking fake play or whatever. I'll at least respect him for that. I'll at least respect him for that. Yeah.
But But again, this is showbiz. That's fine.
You're totally entitled to that. I'll give you,
I don't even know who.
Adam's trying to bail him out. So is he about to do the "I don't know you" card?
Showbiz. That's fine.
You're totally entitled to that. I'll give you,
I didn't even know who she is when I was in the waiting room.
That's the whole point.
Oh my God. You are meant for the camera, my friend. You are something else. You don't know who she was when you were in the chat?
No.
No.
In the
it's
camera,
fine.
in the back room?
No, it's okay.
All right, well, how about this?
Oh my God.
Is there anything you would like to take back or apologize? Whatever you want.
No, not after being treated like that. Absolutely not.
After being treated like that, she has been nothing but respectful to this guy.
for sure.
Considering everything he said, she's been like, listen, if you would have been straightforward, it would have been fine. If you would have apologized, it would have been fine. If you would have said whatever, then we could have kept it,
After being treated like
He's just
that?
a child.
And he's like so indignant.
Nah, I'm not gonna be talked down to by like some child that has no decency to communicate with me in a respectful manner.
It starts with you. What?
Okay.
Yeah.
Starts with you. Oh my God.
And leads a relationship like that. You don't even have to be in a general space.
All right, you guys are better than me. You win. Cool. Next question.
Amazing.
Anyway,
She's not talking down to you. She's a
you guys good?
She's
confronting you.
You guys
Such
good?
a childish thing to say.
I had like 3 more topics
This is me and Melina when we fight. And I'm like, okay, Mel, you win. Get the fuck out of here.
to get to, but I'm sitting in the middle of this like, holy shit. Anyway, I hope you guys at least after the show can hug it out. I don't know if that's possible.
I got a hard out at 6. I told you.
Okay, we gotta get going. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this last segment. This came out of nowhere. This is live TV, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't expect that happening, but I hope you guys genuinely can figure this out after the show. No hard feelings. I understand where you're at. Natalia, final super chats. Let's get some winners and we'll go to the happy ending and we gotta wrap up for today.
Okay, so I will go through. Let's see where to start. I'll start with the one on my screen right here. Being Cheeks, I never subbed to Angela or MLD, but Angela got my vote for the rose. Typical red pill guys never take accountability for the same way OnlyFans girls in their future. Then we have this one. Being Cheeks, have more enthusiasm reading the chat. I will. Then we have Full Weed Todd. Divorce is actually worse than average men. They end up lying in their cars and sitting on earth for men at 40. Self-destruction. Sorry, it was a little blurry when I took a picture. Then we have Redo.
Hold on,
Destiny.
guys. As we're doing this, production team, real quick. I know we're wrapping up. MLD literally has to go. He's not walking off. He said at 6 o'clock he needed to hard out at 6 o'clock right now. MLD, final words before you run off. I don't want to go out like this. Anything you would like to say before you do?
Look at this guy! Famous last words.
It actually looks like.
Look at this fucking guy. Look at him right now. Right here.
He's like Smeagol. He's like actually in goblin mode right now.
MLD, final words before you run off. I don't want to go out like this.
He looks like he's doing the 1 chip challenge.
Yes, he is. He's not okay.
He's not okay.
Not having a good week.
It is not a good week for him.
Look at the difference in the color on his hands and his face. What the fuck?
Oh no. Oh no.
Anything you would like to say before you do?
I got nothing to say.
Oh man. See, my point.
All right, brother. Of course, bro. Joey, let's make sure he gets out safely.
Sorry.
Wow. Anyway.
And we're the ones that get our period.
Guys, listen, for the record, just so everyone's on the same page here, me and MLD are cool. We've got 0 issues. He's always been super respectful. But at the same time, you and I are also very cool. We've also been very respectful together. This is on you guys to address publicly, privately, whatever. This is on you guys. For the record, I had no clue that any of this was going to happen. It's great for TV, but not exactly what I wanted to happen on my show. But such is life. Anyway, guys, sorry about that. If you were offended or enjoyed it, and you're an S&M type of person, fucking play, I'll play it. But me and MLD are cool, just so we're clear on that. Nat, go ahead, finish some super chats.
Destiny's girls interrupt a lot.
I can interrupt the video you interrupted me 30 times. 37 actually.
That's one to start.
Last one, so
yeah, well,
payback time. Okay.
You're very necessary for podcast because every podcast needs a girl for a guy to be
The
like,
annoying one. Shut up, bitch.
Yeah, I don't use that one. But
Then it said
I gotta say the classiest person on the podcast today is
Tessa.
Guste.
Ooh,
She's been super classy
next to
today.
you anymore.
Last week she was accusing men of raping everybody. But
No, that's not what I was saying at all.
These are former comedians. These are jokes, guys. Relax. You're also classy. You're classy.
Comedian.
We're all classy. Go ahead. Sorry, I know we gotta wrap up.
Okay, then we had this one came in by Beaten Cheeks, best ending for SOSCAST ever. Then we have Lou Castley, a feminine woman would never call out a man like she did. It should have been handled 1-1-1.
Yeah, see, that's true. This is what they want. They want women that won't call you on your bullshit. That's the whole point of finding a woman who's 19 years old or some woman from some poor part of a country or whatever.
Can't handle it. All right. Then we have Steven's wife needs to be quiet. She takes the argument to extreme and applies it to the general. Then we have Walderman Perez Jr. This is why we have generations of weird people due to absentee parents trying to do many things at one time instead of focusing on their kids.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, guys.
I need water.
It's not good.
Oh my god.
We're fine. Take a minute.
Lord.
So it totally was a good episode.
Oh my god. I hate how aggressive he acts with you guys. Well, he was.
Mm-hmm. It's a good emote. Schmidt put an emote. Please.
That would be a really good emote.
Please make it an emote.
It would have
It's
to
so
be in place of
fucking
like
good.
re or whatever, I think.
It's so good. Oh my god.
God damn. Holy shit.
And it's called Endure, of course.
Oh, endure,
yeah.
endure.
That's what he was saying on your guys' podcast.
Yes, exactly.
You endure.
Yeah, endure.
You must endure.
The way she brought that up. Oh, I guess we're just supposed to sit here and endure like you said though, or whatever, right? Oh my god.
Yeah,
it was
it's so
just
good. It's so good.
fucking biting. Holy
Was that
shit.
the first time you guys had exposure to him on the whatever podcast? Or did you
On the whatever podcast was the first time, yeah.
Okay.
And then being cheeks, these females are sleeping around to have daddy issues. And then that was all the newer chats we have right now.
Okay. So how's this gonna work? Because we got some free tickets to give away to the
I'm gonna
live
add
show
a
with
few
Fresh
names.
and Fit. How do we do this, Nat?
So let's
teach
get everyone's-
me something, Nat.
Teach
I don't
me
know
something.
how technology works.
So what I'll do is I'm gonna finish putting the names in here. If you girls want to give your happy endings, and then we'll do the last thing. We'll be picking the name.
Okay.
So happy endings, and
All
we'll
right.
finish the names.
So at the end of every show, we do what's known as a happy ending, where you guys can give your 2 cents on what happened today or in life, or give a plug for yourself. We had sort of an unhappy ending today, but this is show business, not show friends. Tessa, you got a camera? Let the people know where to find you. What do you want people to know? What's your take? Go ahead.
You can find me down in Miami. I am a tattoo artist. I'm one of the best in Miami, so you can come see me, Tattooed by Tessa. And I have no sense for the end of that. Angela is not 40 pounds overweight, so I just really don't think that's something you should say to a female. That's it.
Angela, you have the mic now. You've made some serious waves right here. I don't think you and MLD are going to be going on a date anytime soon. But what are your final 2 cents? Give us your happy ending.
Pick your role models wisely, guys. Not everyone on the internet is qualified to give you advice, including myself. But at the end of the day, to each your own, your results will say a lot. And if that's who you look up to, you should really question yourself, is all I'm going to say.
All right. Listen, I found myself caught between a rock and a hard place, because I do think that he gives a lot of good advice out, but at the same time, it's probably not the right thing to do to treat a woman that way. So I think he'll take some ownership. I think he's a smart guy. I think he'll reflect and act better. We'll see where we go from here. But I'm not picking sides here. I'm not here to start the drama, but I wish that it didn't go down like that, but it did, and we'll see where it goes. Nailingus, my friend, my homie, my compadre. I haven't seen you in so long.
I know, man.
My girl, the first time I saw you, you were
I had
talking
to
like
pretend-
this.
yes, when the
you
first
pretended
time I
you didn't
met
speak
you.
English.
Yes, I was
the
like,
first
hello.
time I meet her, my boy introduced me. He goes, "This is Nailing. I'm Nailing." I'm like, I'm rolling my eyes. I'm like, "Really, Chris, bro?" She got some. She got it going on. I'm my name, Nailing. I'm like, oh god. And then she's like, I'm just kidding, motherfucker. I'm Nailing. What's up? I'm like, oh.
Oh my god, I speak English. She's like, oh my god.
Speaks English, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, Nailing. Go
Anyways,
ahead.
my
Thank you for coming on today. Give
of
us your happy ending.
Yeah, my happy ending would be that I would get in contact with Andrew Tate again, because he DM'd me and then his Instagram got deleted and then he went to jail. So I don't know how to find him. Yeah, he's out of jail now.
I can help you get in touch with him.
Yeah, please. He DM'd me and he was really nice. He was like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm home. He's like, good. He's like getting ready for our future kids. And then I never responded back because his Instagram got deleted.
Nailing, what you say doesn't make sense. I'm just a normal, nice guy. Take care of my kids, and it's like, yo, where the NBA ballers at? Where Tate's at? It's like,
no, he wants me to be home and raise children and be submissive. That's what I want. I want a
can't
sex
make
life for
this
life.
shit up.
No, you can't.
Anyway, we'll see what we can do to make your referral there. Tate, if
Right.
you're watching. Okay, Melina.
Yeah.
You're adorable and argumentative as always.
Yeah.
Combative,
Thank
annoying,
you.
and sweet
Thank
as
you.
always.
I appreciate it. I
It's
like all those
it's
things.
like
It's great.
sweet and salty all in one.
It's awesome. That's
Yeah.
like the when you dip like fries, salty fries with ice cream, it's like the best thing.
Dipping in a Wendy's
That's basically
Frosty.
me.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you can find me on YouTube, Melina.Jorgensen, Twitch.tv/Melina. Same on Instagram as the YouTube, Melina.Jorgensen, and I guess on TikTok, Melina.Jorgensen.
Okay, look
Yeah.
forward to doing more content with you.
Yeah,
having
it's
more
super
laughs
fun.
with you,
Yeah,
yelling
thanks
at
for
you,
having me
arguing
here.
with you.
Yeah, this episode
It's
was
like-
really fun. I really liked it. It was super fun.
What
Yeah.
were your take on MLD? You guys get along, yeah?
I think he is a little childish.
Oh, I think he's.
I don't really know too much about him, but I think he should be able to own up to his stuff and not act so emotional.
Yeah, it's all we said was just own up to it.
All right.
Control his emotions, because I think everyone here was very
All he
respectful.
needed to say was, "Yo, my bad."
And
I
just
take it
very
back.
on
That's
point.
all.
Everyone here, all the girls,
It's
and I
all
think
good,
that
but
he was
that's
the
on
one who
him.
was a little.
I don't want to put words in his mouth. He's a grown man. Guste, I think you've been very classy today. I appreciate you being here again. Give us your happy ending.
My pleasure. I would props to Angela, because how you handled that situation was so classy, respectful, and to handle a situation with such calmness and like your demeanor is like so hard, especially like for a lot of people to do. So like I really respect you for how you brought that to attention, and I think it's very obvious that like a high value man doesn't react to confrontation like that. He doesn't just stand up and walk away all, it's like, thank you for letting me know that this is how you feel.
Especially to a woman,
Right.
okay, who you were like supposed to be superior to and everything, right? Like,
Well, I stand by my word, but like you can see, like, he was all in this like emotional state of mind where it just wasn't clicking for him.
And again, I'm not defending him. I'm not shitting on him. He
That's
did
fine,
need to
fine.
leave by 6 o'clock. That's something we established. I promise you, I'm not lying about that. But he could have handled it any way he wanted. All good. I'm not here to fight other people's battles. But I appreciate you lovely ladies being here. Nat, what you got for me?
You want my happy ending or the rest of the chats?
I mean, I'm going to move past your happy ending today and go right to the chats.
Okay,
and
right to the
let's get these
chats.
tickets out there.
Okay, Doge, he said that these chicks are triggered AF from MLD. Then we have Full We Todd from an objective perspective. It's usually a trigger that remember the incident. You should have told him what he said instead of acting unprofessional. That's my opinion. Then we also have Cordell Clark, Adam, Back Him Man, SMH. And then that's it for super chats. And then we'll do the names. And I just want to say quickly, like today's podcast, I think that MLD does give a lot of great insight and he does have good points for gentlemen out there. But I think just comes to a point what was being addressed was just like, own up to the things you say. You know, if that's what you believe, that's great. If not, then just own up to it. That was it. Aside from that, let's, I guess, pick our winner. Okay, so I'm gonna click.
Do we have a drum roll? How does this work, ladies and gentlemen? Fill me the fuck in before you just start picking winners.
So I put in the names.
Oh wow, look at all these drum rolls.
Drum roll.
This is great.
So I'm gonna click to spin
Amy,
it,
why are you doing
spinning.
this?
It's spinning, and the winner is Full We Todd. Full We Todd.
Full We Todd.
Full We Todd.
Okay.
Congratulations. Okay.
What a great name, Full We Todd.
Full We Todd.
I
We
can't make this shit
appreciate
up
your super
today.
chat.
Anyway, there's 2 tickets with your name on it for the show. How do we get in touch with this gentleman?
So if you actually want.
Away. Thanks. Guys, thank you, lovely ladies, for being here. Tessa, Angela, Nailingus. All right, Melina.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, Gusta, Natalia.
Yes.
I look forward to that mud wrestling match with you and your attitude today. But why don't you sit here for the last segment right
Oh,
now?
you want to
Keep your
replace
ass
our
over here.
special guest?
Yeah, let's go. Fill in for him.
Yay.
Anyway, you got this thing? Anyway, thank you, Natalia. Thank you for being here. You got big shoes to fill right there from our friend MLD. Okay,
She's
there you go.
so hot.
Do a wide shot real quick if you can. I know we're wrapping up. I got Eric Alera's probably gonna fire me right quick because I took time to give away some free tickets. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for joining. None of this was scripted. This came out of the blue. I don't know. I knew none of this. Anyway, I hope you guys can come to good terms. I will give you guys credit for being here. I appreciate all you guys' answers. Version of yourself. Melina?
Lovely.
Okay. Very good.
Jesus.
Good episode.
That was interesting.
That was a 10 out of 10.
Very interesting.
My God.
Wow.